I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! That's right. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Thank you for getting up way too early for another episode of Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. Welcome to the new year. Happy new year from everybody here at Garage Gym Life. On this show, we talk about fitness-related content from a home gym perspective, and we're going to get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community while we do it. And plus, we have a lot of fun along the way. I am John Greaves III. I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life, and if this is your first time checking out this show, welcome, and I promise you that you are in for a good time today. So I'll just go ahead and prove that by telling you what's on today's show. In the first hour, we're going to have news and other things, which is going to be coming up in about 5 minutes. Then at 6:45, we're going to have our most popular segment, Recliner of Rage. I'll tell you guys why I am crashing out again this week. I swear, I'm the victim here. This stuff keeps happening to me. Then in the second hour, at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, we're going to be reacting to the news of the day with Naomi Greaves. Naomi's actually going to join us in a couple of minutes, but she's going to hang out with us through the 7 a.m. hour to react to the news of the day with me. And then in the third hour, I am going to be interviewing Ari Kimmelfeld, who is the founder of Commonplace. And he's actually been on the show before, back when his business was called Trade My Stuff. They have rebranded as Commonplace, and so he's going to be returning to talk about rebranding the business and how they continue to disrupt the used gym equipment market. Okay, so before we dive into news and other things and say hi to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring on my better half. That is the one, the only. Now, there are a lot of Naomi's, but this one is mine. All right, so let's go ahead and bring one of your favorite people to the stage. Everybody, let me find her theme right here. All right, here we go. Here's your theme, Naomi Greaves. What's up?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey. All right, so here we go. So I am glad that you are here with me, and we are doing the best we can to make this a regular event because I know you guys enjoy hearing our back and forth. And so let's go ahead and both of us, let's go say hi to everybody in the live chat. So the first person who's here today was Eric Carpenter from Carp's Gym. He said, yep. And I'm going to pause right here and tell you guys yet another. We were already members of the FOC. In fact, we are founding members. I'm going to say we're founding members of the FOC, the Friends of Carp. But
so like because an FMOC?
Founding members? Nah, just Friends of Carp. Friends of Carp. I mean, if it's like Sons of Anarchy, I guess we'd have to go with Red Georgia Original or something. I don't know. That's too complicated. But we're founding members of Friends of Carp. And just out of the blue, he's always doing stuff to like show how supportive he is, and not just to us, but to a lot of people in the home gym community, especially content creators. And he shot me a text last night, and just to let me know that he had used our affiliate link to get something from Bells of Steel. And you might say, well, why is he telling you that? And the thing is that because a lot of times we don't know who's using our affiliate link, right? So we tell you guys that these products are out there and that this is how you can support the channel. But if you do it, we don't actually know unless y'all tell us. So I love it when you guys let us know because it gives us a chance to thank you. And Carp did not know we were going to shout him out for that on the show today, but the dude is an awesome dude. So I want all of you guys to go and subscribe to his YouTube channel, Carp's Gym, because he's got a lot of cool stuff on there. Just got a new product review, the lift bar. So, and I watched that. It looks really cool. So you guys make sure you check that out. And he said, the Bells of Steel sales are popping. We are going to be talking about those sales in the next segment. Here's Carlos. Happy New Year. He says, we're all here for the first show of the year. Wake up, wake up, wake up. You know how to do it. He said it is 65 degrees in Houston, a great opportunity to get in a morning stroll and watch the best weekly streaming morning show for the home gym community. Hey, I appreciate it, man. He said, let's go. Thank you. Shout out to our guy, Jared Martin. He says, good morning, everyone. What's up, Jared? And let's see here. Carlos said, Happy New Year. And he said that our mics sound nice. Check one. And then he gives you a special shout out. Says, Naomi, I'm telling you. There you go. See, then the hatred has started. It says too many abbreviations will break John's brain. I'm just saying, I just like to keep stuff simple, man. I do not, my wife can tell you, I do not like, you start complicating stuff, I start losing interest. So before we
morning, Trevor.
Hey, what's up? Hey, man, we're glad you're here though, Trevor. Thank you for joining us, man. All right, so if this is your first time watching this show, though, there's about 573 of y'all watching. Oh. That is so awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. If this is your first time watching the show, do us a favor, hit the like button and hit subscribe for us. That helps the channel grow. And if you do it right now, that's going to let YouTube know that people are interested in the show, and it'll start showing it organically to other people. So that's a free way that you guys can support us. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe, and you guys can see the vibe of the show. We like to start Fridays off on a good note. Even if you had a bad week, we're going to turn that all around starting now, all right? I promise you that. But let's go ahead and let's dive right into our first segment, which is news and other things. Okay, so to begin news and other things, I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, OneOdio. They gifted us 2 pairs of studio headphones, which we are using. They gifted them to us to use during our streams. So Naomi is wearing, let me go ahead and embiggen, as Miss Marvel would say. Naomi is wearing, those are the Fusion A70s, right? So we literally just got them out of the box. So we're not 100% like, we're not experts on them yet. I will say that mine are very comfortable. How are yours?
Mine are very, very comfortable. What I like about them is the fact that they're foldable. Comes in its own little separate pouch. Per the specs, because I did get a chance to kind of peek the specs. Right now I have it wired, so that way, again, with the mic. But it does have a mic where it does not attach to the cable. And it does have up to a 10-meter range just off of wireless. When it comes down to charging, it's about 2.5 hours of charging to be fully charged, but it gives you about 3 days or 72 hours worth of playtime. So that's really, really cool.
And then I am using the right here. These are the Studio Max, the OneOdio Studio Max 1. These are the wireless. These are actually DJ headphones. They're apparently co-branded with someone who is apparently a famous Italian DJ. And today was the day I found out she existed. But nevertheless, I love these headphones, and they are really, really nice. They, as I said, they are technically DJ headphones, and I love them. First of all, let's begin with they're comfortable. All right.
Lightweight.
They're lightweight. So the ear cups, that's a term I learned from Carlos. So the ear cup, in fact, actually, let me stop sharing the screen, and that way I can just show you what they look like on me. So the ear cups right here, see how they look really nice. I've also got mine wired. They'll give you 120 hours of time if they're wireless, and they are foldable. But I just, because the show goes on so long, and sometimes we go long, I just said, let's just go ahead and I like a hard line. I like the hard wire setup. So I went ahead and I went wired, but they've got the options to connect our USB, which would be one of the wired options. Then you can have a choice of a 3.5 millimeter or 6.35 millimeter jack, and then the Bluetooth if you want to go wireless. So those are really, really cool. Now, one other thing, I want to pull this up. I'm going to share the screen one more time because there is a sale right now. So you guys can take advantage of this. And the sale ends. You gotta take advantage of this sale before tomorrow. So if you're watching this in replay, shout out to the replay gang. you got to make sure if you want to get a pair of these headphones, you need to take advantage of this sale before by end of day Saturday, January 3rd. Okay. But it's up to 55% off on the product. So whether you like the headphones that I'm wearing or the ones that Naomi is wearing, I'll let you guys check out the ones she's wearing again.
I call it like a mocha brown and silver. It's probably not what it's called, but
brown and silver. Got it. Okay. Brown and silver. Got it. All right. Yeah. Carlos said those are nice. Yes. And he said, so Carlos is a connoisseur of headphones and studio equipment and things like that. And you guys would know that if you check out his live streams every Friday and Saturday night, like Naomi and I do. Yes. It is very entertaining watching him stream games. Okay, let's just say that. My favorite part is when he forgets it's a game, like something scares him or something startles him, and he actually jumps in real life. That's my favorite. That's why I show up. Yeah. Nora likes to show up because he wears his hat when he's doing Ghost of Tsushima. Yes, he wears outfits. Yeah. Sometimes I can't endorse the outfits, but he wears outfits. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, so like I say, he's a connoisseur of headphones, and yeah, so I'm telling you, these are really nice. And thank you so much to OneOdio for supporting the show, and sending these out to us. And we're gonna keep on using them for the duration, so we'll be able to let you guys know how they're holding up. Trevor said Alabama got their butts kicked last night. It's a great morning.
Haven't watched the game yet.
Yes. Okay. So, we didn't play them. We played Ole Miss. All right. Oh, yeah. Do not say, and we have not seen the ending of the Georgia game because we had to go to bed. We had to wake up with y'all. So nobody revealed the ending. Don't give me a hint. Don't do anything. All right. No. I don't want to see it. I don't want.
However, I am glad to know that Alabama got their butts kicked. Yeah. So I do have
charge it to the game.
I have team members that I'll be shouting out like, "Haha!" But don't reveal anything on the Georgia.
Yeah, don't tell me anything about the game. All right. Let's see. Carlos said Naomi's has a steampunk style. He said he likes those.
I like that steampunk. Absolutely.
That's true. You know what? I can see that. Like, because the brown has that vibe, like the trench coat that she wears steampunk. Oh, like the head. Like, what is it? Like the flight aviator's cap with the goggles and stuff. Sorta. I can see that Amelia Earhart, whatever steampunk thing. I got you. I like that. All right. So that was the first thing. Now let's go ahead and talk about the question of the day. So the question of the day, I almost pasted this, including the instruction. So I put a little reminder note to repaste this in the live chat, and I almost pasted that note in the live chat. So y'all would have just seen paste in the live chat and be like, what in the heck is going on here? Okay, so this is the question of the day that I just posted. What are your top 3 fitness goals for 2026? If you are watching on replay, go ahead and if you're watching on replay, go ahead and drop a comment, because I'm going to have the question of the day pinned to the comments once the video is on replay. So just reply to it there, because we want to hear from everybody what their top 3 fitness goals are. I know a lot of times people say, well, what's your fitness goal? But what ends up happening, even back when I was a personal trainer, if I asked somebody what their goal was, they always had like 3 things they wanted to do. And I used to say, oh, you need to focus on one thing. But based upon what happened with the Garage Built 1 Year Challenge, which Naomi, as of now, is the only person to actually complete, because it was a 1-year challenge, I've now thought about it, that you actually need to, and there are other coaches and trainers who program this way, you don't need to take an entire year and just say it's for one goal. Instead, it's best to have multiple goals, maybe 6-week to 12-week goals, and then you swap them out as you go along. That you accomplish one, move on to the next one. So that's why I said, what are your top 3 fitness goals for 2026? So what are yours, Naomi?
I mean, again, so yesterday I jumped in and I looked at the triathlon calendar. In Georgia, the first event actually starts on March 28th. No, hold on. 28th. And so I was kind of like looking through all the events. There's actually 13 that's taking place here in Georgia. So I was like, okay, getting my top 3 and then kind of looking around. So of course, as everybody knows, trying to get back into the triathlon. I already got to where I needed to be physically, and now it's to build around that muscle, to make me more effective in the sport with triathlon training. And then still want to, maintain, because now I'm going in more of a maintenance, phase when it comes down to just my health, making sure my nutrition is meeting my my activity goals and needs. And then it's more of a professional. I have some professional goals that I am trying to pursue this year.
Okay.
So, and that is, I'm still flushing that out. But I think to kind of mirror what you were saying before about like those bite-sized chunks, looking at it at like 12-week increment goals for me.
90 days is legit. It's long enough to give you time, because life happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's long enough to give you time in case you hit a speed bump, but it's also short enough so you don't kind of like lose focus and forget what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, if it's too long, I think it's easier for people to fall off because they're like, oh, I got time. Oh, I got time.
Right. It's kind of like, so one of the things that I kind of joke around, like I'm a little bit of a miser when it comes down to like paying for an event. And so like John, I had mentioned, this was years and years and years ago, but I wanted to do like one of those mud runs kind of thing. And
obstacle course races.
Obstacle course racing, right. And so John was like, okay, no problem. I support you. Paid for it. Did I train for it? Absolutely not. And John had worked that
And okay, hold on. And when she didn't train for it, I said, oh, well, because I signed up for it with her. Because I did your first 5K with you, and then I signed up for the obstacle course race with her, right? Mm-hmm. But then she didn't train for it. So I said, okay, well, I'm not gonna train for it either. I ain't about to be the only one suffering. So, and then go ahead. I went to work the night before.
The night before I got home, and then I was like, and how much was that again? And then when I realized how much it was, I was like, well, we got to go. It's right around the corner from where we live. So we got to do. So he's working on zero sleep. I'm working on barely any training.
Been up for 14 hours.
But, the motivation was, I'm a cheapskate. So we were successful.
Yeah, we lived. We survived it.
We survived it.
Yeah.
But I never realized how many hills were located in the back part of our area. I was like, another hill?
It's funny because it's a horse riding stable, but it doesn't look like it's got that much property when you see it from the road. And you go in there, you're like, oh, this goes way back. There's all kinds of stuff over here. And I'm telling you, I was like, she asked me like, I don't know. You guys have probably seen the picture where we're
Savage
walking.
Race. Yeah, if you ever want to check it out, it's Savage Race for the Dallas, Georgia area, and so you can actually see the course.
So. You guys can. It was like a I told Naomi, this is like basically everything I did in boot camp over the course of 3 months done in one day. And not only is it for fun, but you also had to pay them to do it. I said the last time I did all this junk, it took 3 months, and they paid me. Okay. So that was my last. It happened. I'll say that. I'll go with that. All right. So we got some of the goals coming in. Let's go ahead. First one, Trevor said, start doing cardio, reduce the amount of clutter in my gym, and be more consistent. Those are legit, man. I think that the clutter thing, you guys know that we just set up our Synergy Custom Fitness Rack, and that's going a long way to reducing the clutter because it's so much more than a dumbbell rack. So I get that. There was another one. So this is Carlos. To lose 20 pounds, eat better, and make Up Way Early my #1 streaming show on YouTube. First of all,
thank you, Charlie.
So I think that's based off of, he did the thing with how like YouTube shows you your year in review. And we weren't #1 for his channel, right? And so I gave him a hard time. Hey man, dude, in all seriousness, I just appreciate all the constant encouragement. Carlos sends me like something encouraging probably 2-3 times a week, right? That you guys don't even know. So I really appreciate you and all you do, man. I wish you nothing but success. Actually, if you guys, everybody who's watching this, if you're watching this, I wish you nothing but success. Even if you're watching it out of hate, even if you're a hater, I want you to be successful. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Because what's Bizzle say? All the hate in the world can't make me a hater. So even if somebody's watching this, I don't think we have haters, but even if somebody's watching this, and they're just like, what is this thing here? I wish you success. All right. Thank you for trying it. And now somebody who's not a hater, Jonathan from No Fate 24/7, says, Happy New Year, fam. Jonathan's got quite a number of predictions that he's made on his channel. So you guys go to No Fate 24/7 on YouTube, and you'll see his predictions for 2026. That way you guys can, he said he keeps his receipts. So he said, you guys check it out and then come back at the end of the year, and he's going to do a victory lap if he's right. So go check it out. It happened. Yeah, man, that's the best I can say about that Savage race. It actually occurred. The end. All right. Hey, Mike, man, haven't talked to Mike in a minute. I just seen him like head down grinding. Mike is like, you had like 195 pounds, right? So, hey, keep it up, man. You're looking shredded. Let's see here. Jonathan's got his goals. He said he wants to go to 190 pounds, 9% body fat, and he wants 35,000 YouTube subscribers. Okay, everybody subscribe to No Fate 24/7. Go subscribe to him right now, and then hurry back because we got more stuff going on. Said he's going to do 52 videos minimum, continue to simplify his training programming, and he's going to drop his energy drinks to only one per day. Yeah, dude. So the energy drinks, it's so tempting because it tastes just like soda after you've been drinking them for a while. But that's like, from experience, I know, especially working nights, it's easy to consume them, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you at all. So yeah, I 100% stand behind you. I'm pulling for you to get that, man. All right. Carlos said every job is important. The world needs haters. Hey, okay. All right. All right. So let's talk about sales. 622. Let's talk about sales. So the Bells of Steel Start Strong sale is live right now. And we're going to go ahead and go to Bells of Steel, but the products that are on the sale include the open track bar, hex bar, the safety squat bar, their arch nemesis, Hydra 7-ring bar, the all-in cable towers, there's a lot of stuff. So let's just go ahead and go to the Bells of Steel site. While I'm pulling it up, Naomi, go ahead and talk about from the list. What are some of your favorites that you like from Bells of Steel?
I mean, I'm usually using the all-in-one cable tower, working out at least 2 or 3 times throughout the week. That's in my program, and then of course I'm using the dumbbells, the Blitz bike. Still have the indoor Blitz bike. If you're ever trying to get another form of cardio and you're looking for an indoor cycling bike, their Blitz bike is really, really good.
Okay. Here, I'll pull that up right now so you guys can see it. I think, like we were talking about last night, the Blitz air bike, the Devil's Tricycle, their version of the Devil's Tricycle gets all the notice and attention. But I really think that this Blitz indoor cycling bike is sneaky good. If you're into cycling or you want to even get into it and you don't want to spend as much money as you would pay for some of the higher, you can spend quite a bit of money on some of these indoor cycling bikes. Whereas this one, you can just get it. And something else I like about it is you technically don't need electricity. You don't need it. I mean, yeah. So it's like the ultimate
simple, but something that's very effective. This is a great one to have as a starter for you in your home gym.
Yeah, because so I think about it like all the other ones that are out there, which are good, no hate to them. They have like the displays on these other things, but they require electricity. They require all this stuff. So I actually thought about this one if we wanted to put it at Daddy's house. To just have, because it doesn't take up a lot of space, and it's a great way for us when we go up there for you to like continue your training. We're starting to like slowly put. I talked my dad into letting us put stuff at his house, like workout stuff at his house, so we can continue to train in a to some extent whenever we go visit him and stuff. And this is something that I'm seriously considering putting there. And we're gonna I'll link the video where Naomi does her review of it. But just go ahead and talk about some of the features of the bike, because I know you really do like it. Like you were talking about the cup holder. And
well, I mean, of course, anything that for an indoor cycling bike, one of the things I look for is how close does it mimic my outdoor cycling bike, my road bike, and because again, it's all about muscle memory. So from where the water cage is located for your water bottle, the ability to be able to clip in, clip out, or just have toe cages for your pedals. Again, you have the ability of training in all positions in the saddle. Really, really, it's awesome. Plus, I am a data fanatic, so you get all the data right there on the mini screen that's right there in the handlebars. And as Trevor had pointed out, no subscription service is required.
That's correct, and that is a big deal right there. So you mentioned the positions. So I don't remember them. I know that you got a first, second, and third, but This is one of the riding positions that you would use on the open road. And you guys see, so what he's got there is actually just his own laptop. So you can put your own tablet there. Naomi has done it while listening to I don't know if you're listening to a book on tape or a podcast, but she's done it that way. It's literally, well, I don't know if necessarily if you've done it while drinking coffee, but yeah, but yeah, and there's another position right there. So, and actually, hold on, let me go back. In that position, that's where you do the heart rate, right?
Actually, the heart rate is further down.
Down. Oh, yeah, okay, I see it. Okay, but yeah, this is it's a great bike, or cycle, whatever you want to call it. And it's Trevor, there's no subscription service. So once you pay for it, you pretty much are done. Like something else that I've seen Naomi do is she'll pull up one of those free YouTube instructional videos just to have something to train along with. And so that's another thing. So it's a really, really great deal. If you're not sure if this is for you, don't go spending a ton of money on some of the expensive ones. Get this one, and then you can always, upgrade later on if you need to. We got another goal here, and this is from Mike. He said his 2026 goal, I don't know if I endorse this, is to rock the smallest shirts ever. Based on your Instagram, I mean, I think your shirts have gotten so small they shrunk right off of you, because he's doing a lot of shirtless activity. I'm not saying he goes to church like that. I'm just saying I ain't seen him in a shirt in a while. That's all I'm saying. But hey, I ain't mad at you. So then I saw another one here. Carp said that the sales are going on. So also they're having doorbusters. And today's doorbuster is the SS4. SS4 safety squat bar. So let's go ahead and pull that up. This is Friday, January 2nd, if you're watching this on replay. So this is not going to necessarily be the doorbuster for tomorrow, but it will still be part of the Start Strong sale. So it is right now on sale. It's normally $371.99 if you're here in the US, and it is in stock at the Indianapolis store. So if you grab one, Andrew and Kat will get it out the door headed your way, and it's $259.99. And you can, there's other attachment options and things like that if you want to get it. But yeah, I think a safety squat bar, a well-designed safety squat bar, is one of the most underrated and underutilized pieces of gym equipment, because you can use it. Heck, I use it to do. I use our safety squat bar to do, which is another brand, but it's still, that principle remains. I use them to do standing calf raises, because that way, with a well-designed safety squat bar, you don't have to hold the handles. So I can load it up nice and heavy, grab the power rack, and then use it for calf raises. I've seen people use them for tricep work. I mean, there's a ton of things you can do with it. It's not just a squat bar. So if you don't have one of these, definitely consider grabbing the SS4 safety squat bar, especially today if you've got the, if you got some money. Let's see. I'm like a fitness virus spreading to everyone. I swear. I'm trying to figure out if that's a compliment or not. And if it's not, I will get you back during your stream tonight. Okay. Don't you, the trolling comes back around. All right. But yeah, anyway, so I think my your out of all the Bells of Steel products, which one would you say is like your favorite though? Would it be the cable tower?
Cable tower.
Because you use it all the time.
Even if I'm not working out, if I just walk in the gym because John's in there or whatever, I'm talking with him.
I don't
like realize it, but like I'll just start to like grab it and just kind of pull and just do a couple, pause. A couple reps without even realizing it. I mean, it's something that is essential for my programming.
As habits go, it's not a bad one to have. You know, there are a lot worse things that you could habitually just like. She's really, you see her like, especially when you start talking to me, and like you're not really thinking about what you're because you talk with your hands, right? So if you're talking, it's natural now for you to just grab the pulley handle or whatever, whether there's a handle on it or not. You just grab the cable tower, you just start like doing reps, and I'm just like, I wonder if she even realizes she's doing that. But that's doesn't bother me a bit.
Usually about like rep 4 is when I real. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Then are you like, how long have I been doing this?
And well, I'm like, well, I got to do the other side just so that way it's even.
I got you.
So.
Jared says you can put row handles on the SS4, and that is correct. It's one of the most versatile safety squat bars out there. Carp said once you go cable stacks, you don't go back. And hey, I'm telling you,
true.
we were plate loaded before. We got the cable stack done. In fact, that's the title of the video. No, the video we did of it, the first review of it, like no more plate loaded ever again.
I love the selectorizer because you can just switch out real quick.
So fast,
so fast, so fast. And I know, like we've had functional trainers in the past when we've gotten other racks for review, and then they move on out, and I'm like, the thing that I missed was always like the functional trainer, the cable ability, the cable work. And so once we got the single stack with the selectorizer, it was like permanent home. So,
and that's something like, we get rid of stuff that we're sent to do reviews on all the time, but when something stays, that tells you, hey, they really, really like this product, because it's and to be honest with you, I want to say too that sometimes when we don't keep something, most of the time when we don't keep something, it's not because it's not a good product. It just doesn't fit in our training. So if something stays, not only do we believe in it, but it also fits in our training in multiple ways. Usually it's got to do multiple things. So I 100% love that thing. And to go to follow on what Carp just said, he said, hopefully you get the 3x3 tower in 2026. That is a goal, just because we want to have everything be 3x3 in here as much as possible. So that we have one set of attached. Well, we'll still have two sets because we'll have 5/8 and 1 inch. Sorry, Harrison, if you're watching, I'm not dedicated to the 5/8 society, but we definitely want to have all 3x3 attachments in here. So that's the reason why I want to, but yeah, that's definitely a goal. Trevor said, I'm a changed man going from plate loaded to a stacked cable tower. I'm telling you, because it frees, first of all, now you're not moving plates back and forth, but it really frees up your gym, it increases the productive time of your workout. It makes it possible for me to do multiple exercise movements, because think about it. If I'm doing something where I can, handle 80 pounds, let's say I'm doing a superset and I can handle, let's say 80 pounds for the first movement, but then I end up going down to 50 or right. I got to take the plates off. Whereas with this, I'm just moving down. So there's so many reasons. If you're watching and you don't have a cable stack, or cable tower, you owe it to yourself to at least check it out. All right. So now let's move on. So let's see here. I'm going to show you guys a video. So the news item, and this is the Frankenstein uprights. I told you guys that we're going to reorient them. So we went ahead and we reoriented them. We had some of there's a little bit of shaky cam here because, be honest with you, I sneezed while I was recording this. All right. But it looks so much better now that it's oriented. It's back to being oriented the right way. And look at that. I still got bells and steel stuff on the rack. Something that I didn't notice until I actually bench pressed the other day, though, was that the height of the holes had changed. So, I actually took your advice, Jared, and I wrote down on the board the placement for all of like where all the attachments go that I use. So like my monolift attachments, what hole they go in, like my safeties, that right. And then the so like whatever hole, because the holes are numbered. Well, all that changed when we reoriented the rack from the way it was, because we had to rotate it like a quarter turn, right? So now I can finally do my review of it. Yeah, that was, shout out to Isaac for giving us like the hint on how to do it. But it was and it didn't, to be honest with you, it didn't really take as long as I'm going to make it sound when I do Recliner of Rage to complain about one thing. But something I'm not complaining about is, and this is completely my fault because I wasn't paying attention. I can legitimately say I sacrificed my body to do this review, and I'm going to bring it up again when I do the review. Say, look, I sacrificed my body for this review. So I just check it out.
Oh, you okay?
Right in the nose.
Yeah.
What if I broke it again?
Yeah.
No. Did you break
I might have broken it again.
You're bleeding it.
Yeah. First of all, let's begin by saying, do y'all see how calm I was though? I'm a hero as far as I'm concerned. I am heroic. Okay. I should, I feel like I'm an inspiration to everybody who watched that, because y'all can see, hold on, let me do the single, what you call it right now. So you can see that the scars right there.
It's not scarred, it's healing. Once the scab comes off.
Hey, just call me Scar Nose John Capone, okay? Scar Nose John Capone. I'm not picking that part of my nose either. Okay, that's fine. But it was yeah. You can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, you can't pick your friends' noses, like I always tell Nora. But so what happened is basically that shelf wasn't bolted down. In fact, I was trying to bolt it, and I completely forgot that, well, if this is the first side I'm working on, that means the other side isn't bolted. And I forgot to ask Naomi to hold on to it.
Because I was setting up the bolts.
So she was setting up the bolts like to bring to me. Nuts. So you can't, I don't know, gravity is a poor way to hold something that's like that, right? And so it just didn't work out. And it flipped right off, hit me dead in the nose. I was like, oh, ouch. But I'm proud of myself. I didn't cry. I didn't yell for my mother. It was great,
I don't think Mommy was home.
That's right. She wasn't.
Mommy wasn't home. I had to run and go get the wound wash and the liquid.
I am not clumsy. I am not clumsy, Carlos. I was holding it here, and it slipped off in that side because I was trying to basically it was hard to get the bolt in, and I was trying to get the bolt in, and I'm trying to you gotta use like this, and next boom, and
it sounded bad.
Bam!
Yeah, because all I heard was like the whip of it, and then I heard you because my head was down, and so
she looked up and I was wounded.
And he's like this, and I'm like, okay, what got
like? Why are you bleeding?
Poked, what happened, kind of thing. And I'm like, is this an ER visit? Is it because well, I always tell the kids, if it's not broken, bleeding, or falling off, it can wait. Well, I was trying to assess, is it broken or is it bleeding?
I thought I had broke it again.
You said you can breathe.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that was a plus, because when it hit me, one side of my nose was kind of stopped. So my nose has been broken multiple times. I was a fighter. Actually, the first time my nose was broken was when we made the mistake of inviting this Yugoslavian kid back in high school to play American football with us, and he had never played such a sport, and we're out there playing tackle football out in the on the grass. And in his defense, we weren't wearing uniforms, so I guess it's kind of hard for him to tell who's on his team. All I know is I was going to tackle somebody, and he ran straight in to try to tackle me, and his forehead hit me in the nose. So that was the first time that I broke my nose, and then it happened again until I learned to move my head out the way when I was training to fight. But now, as a result, I get stopped up really easily, and so one side was stopped up, but then when the little rebar or whatever the thing was, when that hit the little strut, that's what it was. When the strut hit me, cleared my nose right up. I said, oh, actually, I can breathe better. So that's a plus. So, there's always a silver lining. Every cloud is a silver lining, Naomi.
Wow.
But yeah, so to go back to the Frankenstein, though, not only together with the Synergy Custom Fitness Rack, because now we can put some of the attachments on the Synergy rack. There's some Synergy dumbbell rack. There's more space now on the power rack, and it's really opened up. The only thing I had to adjust was I had to go back, and basically everything had to move down one hole for benching. But yeah, it was definitely worth it.
Weight horns. We had better positioning on the.
Oh yeah. But we used to have to stand on tiptoes to use the weight horns. Yeah.
And so now where everything is laid out on the back part of the rack, it just is. It's easier to be able to access.
It's much more user friendly. Carp said the Anubis 2.0 is like that for him as far as cable stacks and functional trainers. So I liked it much more than I expected. I'm not saying it'll be here forever, but I'm also not in a rush to move it out either. So Carp told us when we went to his house, everything's for sale. Okay. You just got to talk him into it. All right. But he's not actively looking to sell the Anubis. Okay. There you go. Hey, shout out to 1,084 you guys who are watching. You showed up at just the right time to hit like and subscribe. Thank you guys for joining us. Let's keep this going. We want more people to find out about this. And also, hey, why not share this video with somebody else who needs to get a dose of that feel-good feeling to kick off the first Friday of 2026. Wow.
I was actually talking with someone the other day where I was still getting used to, I'm still recovering from Y2K. Not to date myself, but yeah. So I remember the whole brouhaha about Y2K, and now we're 26 years past it. We're still here. Still here.
I remember 2012 when they were convinced the world was going to end. They made movies about it, which is obviously the best approach. When you think the world's going to end, you just make a movie about it. Yeah. Shout out to John Kuzak. Trevor said, as far as decluttering, he says I was actually able to sell some extra plates because he moved to the cable stack, so he didn't need dedicated tower plates anymore. More clutter gone. Yeah, it's just. I was gonna say we didn't get rid of plates, but we actually have gotten rid of some. But we got rid of some of the bumper plates that we didn't need anymore. And by getting rid of, we gave them away. So that was really cool. Now, let's see. So it is 6:43, and we are about to do Recliner of Rage. Let me make sure I'm catching up. You guys here? Make sure. Oh yeah, remember Carlos said, I remember Independence Day. ID4, Welcome to Earth. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and we're going to dive headfirst into Recliner Rage, and we're going to come back on the back end, and we're going to go. We'll add links in, and then Naomi and I are going to react and respond to some of the stuff that is the news of the day related to the home gym community. All right. So let's go ahead right now. Time for the most popular segment. If you've never seen it before, brace yourself. I'm crashing out. It's the Recliner of Rage.
It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Okay, so today's Recliner of Rage is dedicated to the three I'm just going to say they're cross-threaded. There were three bolts. I was telling you guys all about, we were reorienting the Frankenstein rack. All right. So what I didn't say is we put together the Synergy Custom Fitness dumbbell rack first. I got hit in the nose. All right. I took a nap. All right. I don't mean I passed out. I mean, I finished putting it together, went upstairs, took a nap, came back downstairs, said, all right, let's go. Ready to put something else together. And so we had to disassemble, not really disassemble, but we had to loosen all of the bolts on the iron bolt strength rack, the Frankenstein uprights. We had to loosen all of the bolts and then one upright at a time, rotate them. Okay. So how that looks is we get a ladder and we're loosening the bolts, and I've got my impact. I told you guys about my adventure with the impact last week, right? All right. Well, the impact is in full effect. So, and that's why I wanted, one of the reasons why I wanted it. So I get the impact, climb the ladder. Okay, that's what's supposed to happen. What actually happened is not one, not two, but 3 times. I go up there, I got the impact, and the nut wouldn't come off the bolt. So, okay, now I got to go down the ladder, get the ratchet and socket, climb back up the ladder, and just painstakingly get the nut back off of the bolt. And it was a pain. All right, then you come back down the ladder and swap out for the impact again, then go back up the ladder and move on to the next bolt. All right. And this is a 6-post rack. So for it to happen 3 times, and it wasn't like they didn't even have the decency, the common decency to be right next to each other. No, because it's like one. It's like, okay, I got that done. And then the next few ones, it's like, oh, it's normal. I'm using the impact. Oh, cool. All right. Glad I got that behind me. Wrong. And then I'm moving the ladder to the next spot, and I'm thinking, oh, everything's going to be all good over here. No, wrong. Just annoying. Did I mention I was already tired because I had just gone through what I went through with the Synergy Custom Fitness dumbbell rack? I mean, no shade to the dumbbell rack, no shade to Synergy Custom Fitness. It was my fault, but I still was going through stuff, all right? I ain't got time to be going back up and down the ladder. I felt like Johnny English going up and down the ladder. Why did it have to happen 3 times? I could accept it 1 time. I could accept it twice. Why had it to be 3 times? 3 times is not good. 3 times is only dope if you're a late 80s rap group from Philadelphia. This is not Act Nicholas, whatever that means. I don't remember what Act Nicholas means. Just go listen to the song. The point is, stay on topic. The point is, I had to go up and down the ladder trying to get these bolts off. And don't tell me that they were frozen or that they were rusted, because none of that was the case when I finally got them off. And no spraying it with, I'm familiar with WD-40. None of that was working. Nothing worked except strength of will and a determination to succeed. But I'll tell you what I did. After I got all those bolts down, got the nuts, went and I collected them. And I put them into a place where I can take them to the dumpster. And I'm going to hurl them into the furthest corner of the dumpster so the raccoons can pee on them until the dude comes to empty the dumpster out. Because I will be avenged. All right? I don't want you feeling like this is over. I don't just lay back and let people bully me, and I don't let bolts bully me, and I don't let nuts bully me, okay? I will not be a victim. I will fight back. I'm just telling you. Okay. Now, thank you for letting me share. While I calm down, I want you guys to check out some of my favorite Bells of Steel products. We heard from Naomi. She told you guys about some of her favorite products. Now I'm going to check out some of my favorite Bells of Steel products that won't leave you in the recliner of rage. All right. So those are some of our favorite products. You guys can support the show by going to the link that is in the description for this video, or I also have a lot of them tagged in the shopping button right here on YouTube. It's in the bottom corner. I don't remember which corner it is, to be honest with you. That's why I always just say it's the bottom corner, but it's in one of the corners. You got 2 to choose from on the bottom, and that will also support the show. So grab some of these products from Bells of Steel or anything that catches your eye. You'll be supporting the show, and it definitely is going to level up your home gym. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and catch up to the comments before we add LinkedIn. We got about 10 minutes before we add LinkedIn. Carp said moving things around can be fresh. Like, why didn't we always do this? Yes. It's like you know what I mean? Like, this is something that you were saying, actually, like how the gym looks like a completely different place because we just move stuff around, and I think we shoved the leg press back a little bit. Hold on. Hang on. You're muted.
Oh,
all right, there you go.
Yeah, we did push it back. I think it was like we were able to push it back about another 4 to 6 inches. So it's a little bit more flush. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also we moved the cable stack over by by about 6 inches to the right. And that made accessing the back of the
with the plates on
with the plates a lot easier. It just feels roomier.
That's why I was able to do. You saw me doing the trap bar, the farmer carries, and that's why I was able to do them because we moved. Like we've got room now to do stuff. Which
I was able to do landmines off of the custom fitness, which I haven't been able to do any kind of landmine work for quite some time, and was able to do quite a bit with the landmine attachment attached to the Synergy custom fitness rack.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some YouTube shorts in the coming week to highlight that, and that's one of the movements that we're gonna show Naomi using because we mounted the landmine on the Synergy custom fitness rack, so Naomi's able to do it, and as well as
the seal roll pad.
Yeah, I want to say I posted that on Instagram, so you guys could see it. Yeah, so it's very, very versatile. Jared said he's eating breakfast with his 5-year-old, and he's still sang along with the Recliner of Rage song. Hey, that's my dude.
That's so sweet.
That's my dude. I'm telling you. Yeah, you tell your son he's got an open invite. Both your sons got an open invite to be on the show anytime they want. I don't care what they want to talk about. They can just come on the show.
It's if they break out in song, if they see someone in public acting, not appropriate, and they're like, that's the Recliner of Rage.
Oh, yeah. It's weird because I moved some stuff around in the office here. So I actually have more room now. And so when I sit back, I feel like I'm too far from them. I'm not used to all this room. So that's why I keep on like adjusting because I'm not used to having all this extra room.
Someone has a really good mic, so it still picks you up.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife. She's awesome. She got me a mic because she heard me say that was something that was on my wish list. Okay. And Carlos said, he's going to step on a random bolt in his next walk. I mean, look, man, sometimes, it
happens
by association. If I go through it, you got to go through it. We're a team.
We still find random washes. I mean, it is a running joke that somewhere along the way, we're going to have an extra washer, bolt, or nut. And it should go into the piece of equipment, maybe somewhere. And periodically we'll find extras and we'll just hold on to that.
Yeah. I think we have a bucket and we just have random nuts and bolts in it because you never know when you'll need one.
Well, you found a nut the other day and you're like, you're ready to toss. I was like, hold on, we don't know where that goes.
That's true.
So
never know.
Hold on to it because we may need it. So
Carp said he spent 4 hours at Home Gym Con trying to take apart the ATX rack because they use nylon lock nuts on everything. And he said 3 impacts. He tried 3 different impacts and they couldn't get them off. I'm telling you, it's annoying because you're just what is this?
Nylon lock?
Yeah.
Nut? Okay. I'll have to Google it.
It's just a pain. I mean, it's great if you don't want something to come off. But the point is, they took it to Home Gym Con. I guess they were like, well, we know we're not taking it back to Germany. It's somebody else's problem, I guess. But the point is, it's one thing if you know you're buying a product, all right, I'm never going to get rid of it. But how do you know as a manufacturer, you don't know if this person may be moving? If I need to, a lot of times you're going to take it apart. instead of, I mean, would you want to ship a power rack fully, to like from moving from, from one coast to the other? You take the power rack apart. You
It's
don't want to
German
have,
engineering. It's to
I
make sure
guess,
that it is set and forget. It's good.
I guess.
Solid.
I hear. Okay. Carp said, please don't use lock nuts on gym equipment. Please, anyone ever. Yep. And then this one is a message to you, Naomi. Remember Zwift dude who asked you about the
Yeah.
Velonex? So he said, thanks for doing the Velonex video for me. I was very curious about the Grand Tours. Very interesting app from the bike. So yeah.
Have you seen the recent update though on the Velonex? Definitely check out. Well, I know you haven't, but for Swift Dude, definitely check out. They've just done like an update. I loved the global cycling because I have the video, but able to experience just a nostalgic ride from the Brooklyn Bridge to Park Slope to Prospect Park, which is in Park Slope where I grew up, and just all the memories of riding through there and just seeing some of the changes that have happened in the old neighborhood versus as a kid. It's a lot of awesome rides. And even the ride in Times Square is also really, really cool. So definitely check it out. They've done some recent updates on their global cycling.
So I just, that's the ride you did. And that video is public. So yeah. I just posted that video link, and I'll post it in the video description as well. But I just posted that video link here in the live chat. So if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook right now, you can check it out after this show is over. And then if you're watching the replay, once again, shout out to the replay gang. But I will have the link to the video Naomi's talking about, so you guys can see her doing her tour on that bike tour. You guys will be able to check it out.
And I wasn't crying. It was sweat.
Well, opinions vary.
It's there's a reason why, and it just
I mean, I thought it was really actually, to me, to put it in perspective, if I could go back and like do a tour of where I grew up, just that'd be really cool too, to just be able to see it. So I completely understand. So let's see here. So Swift Dude, I think this is your first time being on the show, by the way, and so appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for coming and joining us today.
Welcome.
Hope you have a good time here, and I appreciate you being here. Now we got let's see. So we got about 3 minutes, so we really don't have time to do the next segment. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'll add LinkedIn, and then we can talk about the Gibbon Arms and El Toro from French Sports. So let's y'all talk amongst yourselves here while I do this. Take me just a second. Let's see here. Let's add LinkedIn. Actually, Naomi, this is actually a good time to talk about. I know you already talked about the triathlons, but did you mention where you're planning on going?
So I looked at Georgia. So I looked at Georgia first. And of course, I saw all their 13 events that are scheduled. Starting as our first one is starting on March the 28th. I did see that there was one that I did back in 2019, and it had disappeared. Or I should say disappeared, but it was not booked for a couple of years thanks to COVID, and it's back. And that is the Georgia Peach one, and it is down in Lake Lanier. So I'm excited. I am going to sign up for that one, and that's going to be in July. But I did check out also, like, I was curious if there was any triathlons that could be in Louisville, Kentucky. So that would kind of coordinate like with Home Gym Con, because that'd be kind of cool to do a try and then go to Home Gym Con. There's a bunch in Nashville. That is correct, Trevor, and looking in Tennessee. And so there are a bunch that, again, I also am looking at travel time. Because we have family in Nashville, live here in Georgia. There's also another one that is close to the coastline in Savannah. And of course, if we ever do the one in Savannah, of course, Nora is thinking about beach, not mom participating in a sport. And then, but again, there's several that are out there, and I'm excited. I spent a couple hours yesterday just looking at the different events, seeing which ones I would like, and locations. And I would start off first with a sprint distance and then move my way up into the Olympic distance. But there are a few Ironman distance as well that are posted, but that's for next year because I'm building my way up to those, and that'll be for my 50th birthday year.
So shout out. It is now 7:00. Shout out to those of you who are in the Central Time Zone who are just tuning in. We already have some of you watching this show. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. I'm John Greaves III. This is my wife, Naomi, and we are the co-founders of Garage Gym Life. And we're going to welcome everybody who just joined us from LinkedIn. This is starting the second hour of the show. So if you're watching on LinkedIn and you're like, hey, I want to actually catch the entire show. I don't want to just watch the part that's on LinkedIn. Join us on YouTube every Friday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern time, and that's when the show will start. You guys will be able to check out all the stuff that we do there, but we are excited to have you guys with us today. Do me a favor, and if you're watching on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow our show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. That way you don't miss any of our interviews and conversations with the influential people across the home gym community. And if you're watching on YouTube, definitely hit the like button and hit subscribe for us so that we can continue to spread the word about the channel. We are so close to 70,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that is all because you guys keep on sharing our link and you tell people about us. And, we can't thank you enough. All I can say is keep doing it, all right? Because it's working. Keep doing it because it's working. All right, so let's go ahead and react to the first item. Fringe Sport is going to be launching their Gibbon arms and their El Toro. So I got an email about that earlier this week, and I had to sign up for the early access. So let's see if when you go to Fringe Sport, they do have a sale going on right now. It's a New Year's sale. In fact, I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up so you guys can check this out. This is not sponsored, but Naomi and I are big believers in what Peter is doing over there at Fringe Sports. So the sale is good for another day. So if you're watching this on Saturday, the sale may or may not be over already, depending on what time you're watching. So as soon as you see this, just go ahead, head on over to Fringe Sport, and that way you guys can save. You see the different tiers and everything. But so anyway, so the El Toro is basically it's a weight horn that you can use to add weight to a stack. And I don't know if it's on here, so I'm trying to see. Okay, so it's not pulling up. So that means the only way that you can see it is by going to their Instagram. And then the Gibbon arms are also not on there yet. What is there already is you guys I think just saw it. So you can see the Dane, the Mammoth Belt Squat, the Side Wing Pulley System, the Walrus. That's one of the products that they dropped this year. The many products they dropped this year. The Drew, which just dropped recently. This is a lat pull down extender. There's a ton of stuff. So out of all the Fringe Sport products that have released in 2025, what would you say is your favorite product release, Naomi?
Oh gosh. I don't have one off the top of my head that I'm like
what's like the most like you're like, that looks interesting.
So one thing I would say is when we were looking at it, I like the tornado arms and
the Gibbon arms. Okay.
Yes, and so I was like, because as soon as I was like, those look like lever arms, but are those tornado arms? And when you said yeah, I was like, okay, that's good. That's what they are. Because what I like about the tornado arms or the Gibbon arms is it gives you different range of motion.
Let's see if I can pull it up. I think they've got something on it on their Instagram. So go ahead. I'll see if I can pull one up.
So that way you're not just going in one, just static in one position. You have different options to choose from when it comes down to your cable assistance work. So
I cannot find it. Obviously, if I wasn't looking for it, then it would be right there. Oh, wait a minute. Is this it? No, that's not it. All right. But so if you have not, let me do this. If you have not seen the Gibbon Arms, what you can do is go to French Sport and you're going to sign up. You sign up for their newsletter, and then you'll get an email and it'll invite you to early access. Some of you guys, I know, Carp, I think you might have an affiliate with French Sport. If you do and you have a link to the Gibbon Arms, go ahead and let us know about that. And then I think Paired and Powered Up. So Jeff and Perrin went and did a tour with Peter at French Sport, and I believe the Gibbon Arms were one of the things that they saw while there. So you guys can check out their YouTube channel to see what they look like. Are you talking about the hoodie I'm wearing right now, Jared? Yeah. If you're talking about the hoodie I'm wearing right now, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So I'm actually pretty proud of that because I helped design that design logo for Gorilla Strength, and then they turned it into hoodies and t-shirts and stuff like that. So that's a really cool opportunity David gave me to design to help design his company logo. So yeah, so it's basically it's a gorilla and it's wearing the welding helmet. Yeah. Well, I didn't know if you had seen me if you had seen so basically I didn't really know if I was wearing a hoodie in one of the video clips that we played. I couldn't remember, so I didn't know if I was wearing a different one in one of the video clips. That's why I said that, Jared. But yeah, so it's a welding helmet. So yeah, I'm really proud of it. And I'm actually grateful to David for the opportunity because he came to me with the idea, kind of like what he wanted to do, and I helped him flesh it out. That's just like one of the side things that we do. This is like 2 years.
Roughly,
yeah. And this is actually the first time I brought it up. So, we do a lot of stuff that's just behind the scenes that I don't ever think to bring up. But yeah, man, I'm glad you like it. And they actually might sell them. You'd have to check out their website. But they might sell these now. All right. Next news item is gym cancellations are growing among Gen Z. So the question is, where are these people going? So there is an article on Athletech, and it says basically gym cancellations is an issue that they've been seeing since among public gyms. They've been seeing as we got closer to the holidays. Some of that may just be because people aren't going to the gym because they're doing holiday stuff. Stuff happens. So there's probably going to be an uptick because now we're obviously headed for New Year's resolution time. But the question is do you think that these people are quitting their gym memberships because they're joining another gym? They're decided working out isn't for them, or do you think that they've joined the home gym community?
So we were talking about that, and what I've been seeing talked about quite a bit across YouTube and Instagram, TikTok, is a lot of people are joining platforms like ClassPass. And ClassPass is like a monthly membership subscription that gives people access to multiple classes and gyms that they can be able to drop in without getting that gym's membership, but they're able to partake in that gym's facilities. So like with Pilates or some of their spin classes or some of their weightlifting classes and stuff like that. So ClassPass is really, really popular from what I've seen. It allows you to be able to use different gyms as well. So that's the only thing that I am able to kind of think of that is probably causing maybe a drop in regular memberships, because there is a membership. It's just not going to that specific brick and mortar. It's going to a ClassPass subscription. And then you may have those that are doing home gym, but they're using more of a tailored coaching app, like how I've been using with the Ladder app, for example.
So I think then you also have I can see somebody deciding to go with a home gym and then using ClassPass as a feature. Okay, so I don't know. So let's say you want to take yoga down at the local gym, but that's all you want to do. You want to lift at home. You're like, I don't need you for anything else, right?
Mhm.
Or maybe I want to swim or something like that, or I want to use the sauna.
Yeah.
Whatever. Could you use ClassPass for something like that?
That's a really good question, because this is about the time, again, triathlon season. We have pretty much everything in the gym right behind my office, except for a pool. That is one thing I am not going to have for pool maintenance. But joining like the Y, so I have access to a pool to help out. So I don't know if ClassPass offers something like that.
Well, maybe it does, because you're booking appointments. So maybe it's like, okay,
Right.
you book an appointment like for swimming lessons,
Right.
or for somebody who's like, okay, it's going to be like a running coach, like a running form
Right.
coach or something like that. So it's essentially training. So it could be something like that. And I will say that I know that there was an article I read a while back where the public gyms, they've been going through it since COVID. All right. But I don't feel sorry for them, to be honest with you. But they a lot of the gyms in New York actually were trying to get people to stop using things like ClassPass, because the membership is going to ClassPass, not to the brick and mortar gym. So, they've been, like I said, they've been trying to like keep their head above water since COVID, first trying to get people to come back.
Right.
Well, actually, first they were trying to get people to not cancel their membership because they were at home. They're like, we should continue to keep paying.
We'll do virtual classes.
Yeah, so we can continue to pay our employees. So I do understand that, but I'm just like, it's hard for me to pay for something I'm not going to be using
now
for however long. But yeah.
From what I've seen also is, for like, if you schedule a class, say you schedule to go into a spin class and you miss it, then you forfeit that particular trip, is from what I understand from ClassPass. So it's like, well, it's also keeping you accountable. I'm signing up for this class. I don't want to lose this credit, so I could be able to attend. And I did see, I think it was, as Charlie put it, he goes, it's very difficult to cancel some of these gym memberships. They'll sign you up really, really easily, but if you want to cancel your membership, it is very challenging in order to do that. And the ClassPass allows you to be able to dip and try, and without that commitment to a gym, but able to use those amenities.
So this is from August. Actually, it's August 4th, my birthday. So everybody wants to start saving your money now. You got time. You got time to get me something nice. But anyway, so this was posted on Athletech News. And if you guys aren't subscribed to that, you're just interested in random fitness news, like I am, you can get their daily newsletter. I get it it's free. And that's one of the things I use to get topics for this show. But anyway, so they had a thing called Gym Loyalty Month. And this is specifically in New York. And they were asking their fitness consumers in general to take a break from using third-party class booking apps throughout August. And instead, they wanted you to buy a full price membership directly from the gym or studio that you're going to be attending. So people were booking classes at the local whatever gym, but they were booking the class through the app. And they said they want you to book it through the gym itself instead of going through the app. And apparently they got support from Trooper Fitness, A-Army, and a number of other gyms, trainers, and business owners. And I don't know how successful that was or whatever, but they said that there's an industry-wide feeling among gym owners that they were losing their value due to third-party apps. So again, this is a home gym focused show. So to me, I think that the only benefit or to me, it's like, I don't want gyms to go out of business. I don't want people to lose their jobs.
Right.
But I like the fact that they're available as an option if you need to go swim, if you want to use the sauna, if you want to, things that you don't want necessarily have at your own house.
Or if you're traveling.
But at the same time, I think that, that's a good point if you're traveling. But to me, it's kind of like part of the problem that those gyms are having. Even we saw when we went to HFA, is like, I don't think that they've got. It's funny because they don't have as good the community aspect as much as we do, I think, in the home gym community, because sure, we don't see each other all the time, but when we go to something like Home Gym Con, it's like a family reunion. Right. So you see like how we all interact. So we've built community in a way that I think you don't do in public gyms, because what do you do in a public gym? You've got your headphones on. You're like, don't bother me. So as a result, people tend, and I understand why, but as a result, people tend to be, I think, a little bit more isolated in a crowd, if that makes sense. I think that's really why they're struggling. Yeah. Hey, 332, what's up? She says will be hitting a commercial gym today. So that, how far along are you in the process of setting up the garage gyms? Because I watched part 1 of your garage gym reveal, but I see that y'all got a ton of work going ahead of you to get that place up and running for training. So I completely understand, Ashley. But I mean, like I said, I don't mind. I mean, just because I work out at home doesn't mean I'm on house arrest. I can go to gyms.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get mad like Naomi does when she goes to a gym and
I don't get mad. You make it sound like I get mad. No.
I'm just saying, the first thing you talked about, you come at home, is that they didn't put the dumbbells away. They didn't do this.
I mean, it's just common courtesy.
Look, she crashing out. Go ahead. Look.
It's just common courtesy. If you're done with it, put it away. If you want to leave things all over the place, then you have your own home gym and you do whatever you want. But if you're using a communal space, just put it away.
Go off. That's okay. That's it.
Or don't walk off with it, because that actually happened at a gym at a hotel, that the weights were there one day and the next day there were 2 different sets of weights that went missing. And I let the front desk worker know, hey, you're missing some of your equipment.
Yeah. So you know what? That was actually a remarkably calm version of how she normally crashes out. So that does show growth. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Good job.
I am very calm.
She lashes out about it. I'm just telling you. All right, let's move on to the next topic. It's right there. All right. So the next topic is Athletech. Again, this is from Athletech. And they had a recommendation for things to buy with your FSA funds or your health savings account funds, right? You guys may remember. I know Clark does. Ashley says, I agree. Commercial gyms are usually messy. Yeah, because I mean, it's not yours. So people just like pretty much they use it, they get up and they walk away because somebody else will put it away. You know what I mean?
Or they have stupid rules. Like some places, like, and I won't name a particular chain, but they have this thing about, you can't lift, or you can't, if you're going to lift heavy, you can only use so much of the weight, and you can't use chalk, or you can't be loud, or you can't, stuff like that. And I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, you have to deadlift quietly. I'm like, I mean, it's kind of heavy,
Yeah.
Okay. Ashley says you look really good. I agree with her. Says you're shining today on cam. Dustin said my recliner of rage for commercial gyms is people holding up machines while they're on their phones. So that's the other thing. It goes back to what I said about people, like, so you got headphones on and you're setting up and people set up in. So one of the things that I've seen, because I do pay attention to what's going on in commercial gyms, is that they have a thing where the public gyms try to set up with backdrops that are pleasing to the eye or that are camera friendly, because they know that people are going to be filming content for social media. And so they're trying to attract big influencers to come to their gym by making it aesthetic. They put backgrounds because they also say, well, that's free marketing for us. Just like they used to get out of the muscle magazines, because people will go there to shoot because it's an easy way to catch, people who are lifting, right? But because people are wearing their headphones and then they're also on their phone, well, what do you not see anymore? You don't see people working in with each other. And if you go over, I remember I went to it was a powerlifting gym in Maryland, and somebody was deadlifting, and the platform next to them, I noticed had a slope. Well, I didn't feel like having to chase the bar after every set, so I just walked over and say, "Can I working with you on this platform?" And they said, "No, this is my platform." I said, "What do you mean it's your platform?" I'm like, "I've never in my life heard of that." And okay. They're like, "No, this is my bar. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I ended up just moving on to the next one. But that's something else that I think is is the death of gym culture. You don't see people working in with each other. Instead, they'll hog all the machines and then not let you, not let you work in. It's not a big deal if you're using multiple machines. Just let people work in with you when you're not using the other one. You're probably resting between sets. Why can't I go over and use it and then not just put it back on whatever set you had it on when I'm done with my set? Yeah. That's insane. So let's see here. Ashley said the next haul arrives next week, and she also needs to do HVAC because she needs to do a heater because it's a bigger space. I got you. Yeah. All right. So anyway, Ashley Tech recommends you buy certain things with your FSA funds, and so I'm gonna go ahead and I'll pull this up real quick. Add this to the stage. Can you guys see that? Can you see that,
Yep.
Naomi?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let me move this over here. No, let's just take it down completely. All right. So the 12 things they suggested you can buy with your FSA funds. And I just wanted to kind of go through it and like give our reactions. So an Aura ring. So you use a ring. It's not an Aura ring.
It's not an Aura ring. It's a smart ring. It is Amazon. It's an Amazon brand.
Okay.
And it's like a third of the cost of that.
Hang on a second. Here, show them again. I'll make it big.
So I got it in the rose gold. And I got this mainly so it can track my sleep. Because I use my smartwatch, my Apple Watch for everything else, but usually I have it charging when I'm sleeping. So really I got the smart ring just to track my sleep. And so when I say it's like a fraction, it's like a quarter of the cost of what I purchased on Amazon, but you can use it again with your HSA, whether it's the Aura ring or this, smart ring. The other thing is, and I'm not quite sure if Aura, I think you have to have a subscription for that. Whereas Ultra Human, I don't know if you have to have a subscription for that one either. That's another smart ring. But with this one, I don't have to have a membership for.
So if you guys, I'm sorry to cut you off, but if you guys want her to do a full review of that ring for the channel, just go ahead and put a comment, whether you're watching on replay or you're watching now, just put a comment, let us know. Because that's one thing that we're trying to do more of is doing more reviews of products that you guys want to see, as opposed to us just trying to figure out what you want to know about. So we can do a full video, and then after that drops, if you guys want it, we'll do it, and then after it drops, we'll link it back to this video, so they'll be connected. But go ahead.
Yeah, and I mean, I was looking at some of the other suggestions that they had on this list, like blue light. I work from home, so I'm in a home office. I'm on the computer all the time. I mean, my glasses, though prescribed, already has blue light in there, but I know, like for my sons, they've gotten just blue light glasses.
Especially gamers and stuff, they'll wear like the blue light glasses.
Exactly. So it does help. It reduces that eye fatigue. And then the eye massager that they have on here is a great suggestion, but honestly, we've used the Bob and Brad eye massager. We co-sign the Bob and Brad eye massager.
100%. I definitely, it's also a fraction of the cost. So I feel like this is one of those sponsored advertorial whatever things. So it's
to put in perspective, it's right here. It's in my office.
There's the eye massage. And I'll say this too. When last time I went to the eye doctor, I was telling him about it because I have blue light in my protection in my eyeglasses too. And he said that one of the problems is that you don't blink as much when you're looking at a screen. And so something like the eye massager not only causes you to close your eyes, but because it massages you, it causes you to release oils that will lubricate your eye again. Fluids to lubricate your eye, especially because there's heat with it. So go ahead and show them. Hang on, I'll take this down. So you can show them the eye massager again. It's the Bob and Brad. And I will link to the video review of it.
Now, John has the updated one of it where it's a little bit more fancy than this one. But this is when I have to take a break, this is what I go ahead and my 20 minutes of Zen is with my eye massager.
And I'll tell you, so Yes, they are. Legend has it that if you come in our room, sometimes you can see both of us laying next to each other with our eye massagers on. Like, don't call us old. I'm just saying that we do it, okay? Just laying there.
The best combo is the eye massager with I already see the Hyperice.
Oh yeah, with that.
But if you have the actual boot,
yeah.
It's just all around perfect.
Heck yeah. I mean, you just pretty much let the world disappear for a little bit. It'll be fine. Yeah. But yeah, so Bob and Brad eye massager, and in fact, I will it's available at Walmart. It's definitely available on Amazon, and it's a fraction of the cost. And then I think I'll check and see if it's available on YouTube, and if it is, I'll add it to the shopping button on YouTube. But yeah, that's just what I think about that. I don't know what an Omnilux contour face is.
I wonder if it's that red light
Let's go find out.
That people are using on social media.
Yeah, it's a LED face mask. Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's do this right now.
That as a real big increase.
I'm gonna say I'm not gonna do that thing with this thing, but let's just go ahead and pull it up. And if you're watching on LinkedIn and you own a brand and you're involved with this is like consumer. I mean, we're health conscious people, and this is our reaction to this device. It looks like what's it, the Phantom of the Opera?
I was thinking about the
Monte Cristo.
That's it.
I mean, no, I'm sorry, Man in the Iron Mask. Yeah. Man in the
However,
Iron Mask.
I mean, like again, it does have red light, which is therapeutic, and it helps with cell regeneration, and acne and all that other stuff. If you suffer from that, and
can you imagine what would happen if I had that on late at night and my mother came by and just saw me with that thing on? That ain't gonna work out. I mean, I'm just or heck, one of the kids. No, I ain't doing that.
Well, the sad thing is, Nora will know exactly, because then she was like, "Oh,
she probably want to put it on."
Yeah,
she probably want to put it on.
So
yeah, so I'm not into that, but at least now I know what it is.
Yeah.
What do you feel about the air purifier? That's something that I'm gonna give credit to Tim from Gym Crafter for being the first person to mention the benefits of it for a home gym, especially if you're in a basement.
Yeah.
Because you have there's a tendency, it's easier to get mold and other things in a basement gym. So whereas in a garage, although you can get mold there too, at least you can open the door and get some fresh air circulation. I think that, and I don't know about that brand, but what do you think about air purifiers if you have a home gym?
I think it's a great idea. I mean, you can never go wrong with making sure that your environment is clean, safe, and for you. So whether it's with warm or cool, hot, for summer or winter, and then of course with the humidifier and then air purifier to have those things for you, I think it's a great idea.
I think it's like one of those, because you think about it, not only are you down there working, yes, you're passively breathing when you're down there, but also think about the fact that if you're working out, you're probably breathing deeper. So you're getting your oxygen intake or whatever is going to be a little bit higher. So that's just something that I thought of as a thing that, yeah. But the only thing that I can say that I would just 100% co-sign on here is the Hyperice X Knee, because again, the idea is you're using your health savings account funds. So you're not coming out of pocket. This is tax-free dollars that you're going to use you're going to lose if you don't use it by the certain time, right? And there is a grace period, but if this just to kind of give you guys some ideas, because it's a great thing. I started seeing a trend of being able to do it a year or so ago, and that's when I first brought it up, and I'm pretty sure I was the first person to start talking about it, using your health savings account funds to purchase fitness related stuff to keep you healthy rather than just stuff for after you're already sick or injured. The Hyperice X Knee I love that thing. It looks like a gas mask for your knee, but the day after squatting or the day after running or something like that, that's not even optional. And I love that you can put it on and walk around the house. You don't have to be in just one spot like you do with the boots. So that's the only thing that's on this list that I would say, yeah, 100%.
I would like to actually try that sauna blanket. And only because, well, anything with a blanket is really cool. I have
Okay,
a
but
weighted
what's the
blanket.
difference? I'm about to say, what's the difference between the sauna blanket and just a normal electric blanket? Except they can charge you more because they call it a sauna blanket.
Well, it says infrared sauna, so it's I guess it's with red light as well. So it's not
Okay,
just so think about that mask, but it's not just for your face; it's like for your full body.
it's a mask for your body. Okay, actually, you know what?
And it's a sauna, so it's going to warm you.
So, Mike, if you're still watching, Mike does a lot of infrared therapy to help out with aches and pains and stuff like that. So that may be something that he might want to try. Dr. Mike, if you will. All right. So let's move on to the next topic. And this is something that we talked about the other night. Naomi and I talked about the other night. There is a new app that's been launched as a review platform for hotel gyms. So we mentioned when you're traveling, you got to go visit. You're going to, visit whatever gym is in the town or whatever, right? So you have to find somewhere. It's a lot more convenient if the hotel you're staying in has a gym. The thing is, you're kind of at the mercy because gyms vary, right? So I've had, Naomi and I have both been to multiple gyms in hotels, and sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great. So the ones that I would say are like my favorites or my best experiences were, so this is when I went to the Wyndham. This is during the ice-pocalypse. You see how grainy that video is because I don't know what kind of phone I was using to film that, but I promise you it wasn't high tech. This is like 2012, I want to say. All right, so there's the so that looks great. And actually the pool wasn't far from there, so they had like the gym towels.
See it in the backward, behind
yeah,
you.
But the thing is, the heaviest dumbbells they had were 40 pounds. So I was doing a lot of supersets there, right? And then this is the one that we go to most. And that is the Home 2 Suites. This happens to be the one in Beaufort, South Carolina. So you guys can see that it's got the cardio stuff is behind me. And it's actually interesting. So this is, so you see like they got the Bosu balls, they got the functional trainer. So there's the cardio equipment, like I mentioned. It's actually cool because that's where the laundry room was. And then this is a close-up of the cardio stuff. And another shot of, so they had like the foam rollers. You see they've got kettlebells. I mean, it's not the biggest kettlebell assortment, but they've got them, which is a step in the right direction. And everyone that we've been to has had a setup like this, but the dumbbells go up to 70 pounds, which is, and actually you might be able to see like the dumbbells go up to 70 pounds. You see them on the bottom right corner of the rack. So that's still not super, super heavy, but it's better than only going up to 40 pounds.
Right.
The thing is, you don't know most of the time when you look at a hotel, like you look on like booking.com or you go to book your hotel, and you can actually speak to this because you travel more than I do. You a lot of times you don't know till you get there, and you go down and look at the hotel gym. Like, let's see, it's like a box of chocolate. So we talk about some of your experiences.
I mean, for when I have to travel for work, the good news is that I kind of I'm a home pigeon, so I kind of like know which hotel chain I prefer, and I can look on the website, the booking website, and I can see their specs, and I can see their gyms that they have, the gym set up. And again, I prefer going to like Home 2 Suites or the Fairfield as opposed to maybe the Marriott for one of the locations that I have to go to, simply because out of those three, Home 2 Suite and Fairfield have the better gym amongst them. And so I
plus Home 2 Suites it's a suite, so you can actually cook.
Yes,
that's one of the things you've been doing. Like you go grocery shopping and then you can cook. Yeah.
Yes, and they actually you're able to get an induction burner. So because I mean they have a dishwasher in the room, and they have everything you would need, and you can actually get an induction burner from the front desk, so that way you can cook. Or if you're driving and you stop at Home 2 Suites and you have like maybe a rice cooker or Instapot or whatever, you can take that with you, and you have a full fridge. I mean, you can stock it up. You can stay on track with your meal plans and your meal prep and be perfectly fine when you go to Home 2 Suites. And another thing, and it's not all, so you need to check, but if you do travel with a support animal, like a dog or a cat, you are able to see if they will allow, and they are pet friendly.
Yeah. So, and this is the thing is like, okay, it may not be a big deal. Let's say you're only staying for like a night, but a lot of times Naomi's going for like 3-4 days at a time. So the hotel becomes your home away from home while you're there. And think about how annoying it is. You're on your program, you're doing your program, you're on track, and you're used to your home gym environment, right? Because we custom tailor our home gyms to ourselves, right? Then all of a sudden work tells you got to go out of town. So you go out of town, now you're somewhere and you're kind of like at the mercy of whatever the hotel has. So this app I thought was interesting. It's available on the App Store. I can't show too much of it because it is just an app on your phone. But here if you go to the website, it's traveltone.io. And it's basically they call it a fitness travelers directory. So you can search and review hotel gyms and drop-ins, and it's worldwide. All right. So you can see on screen right here. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's showing a location in Tokyo and telling you what they have available. And then you can kind of select based upon what's important to you. So you can search by when I tested it, you can search by either location or you can check the chain to see if there's a specific chain in that town or whatever.
Right.
It'll also give you equipment details and 24-hour status. But then it also gives you local traveler-friendly gyms. So it tells you about local gyms, Pilates studios, yoga places, fitness studios that welcome drop-ins. So that's cool. Something. Yeah, it's one of those things that to me it makes this app something that if you travel a lot, you want to put an app like this in your back pocket. This is not sponsored. I mean, if they're watching and they want to give us money, we're taking money. But this is not sponsored. But it's just something that we discovered. I was like, oh, this is something really cool that we need to let people know about, because again, just because you have a home gym doesn't mean that you never leave your home.
Right.
One other thing is that and also you can book your hotel directly through their site. And one other thing is because we have traveled to a fair amount of hotels and rated their gyms, or we've seen their gyms, we're actually going to be adding some of our reviews to the hotels that we like to just kind of help out other people who use the app as well. But I think it's a really, really cool thing. And it's just so cool now because so many of these things didn't exist back, when we first got our home gym and would have to travel. And we kind of just, like I said, you just kind of like just be stuck.
Oh, we have our horror stories.
It's all kind of stuff. Yeah. It's just like, oh, well, makes you appreciate your house more.
Yeah.
All right. Now there's another topic. I'm going to move on to this one. We got about 20 more minutes. Well, actually we got 15 minutes with you. Or less than that. So let's go ahead and do this one. So I want to know what we think, and by we I mean you and the live chat. Everybody chime in and let us know what you guys think of this. Jared Martin sent this to me, this video to me. So let me go ahead and I'll share my screen real quick. Let me remove some of the clutter here. Got it. All right, give me just a second. All right. So there we go. All right. So this is a no leg drive hip thrust. Did you already look at this?
No, and I'm actually trying to.
So it's a no leg drive. Let me see what happens if I.
So it's like on a sled, almost like a.
So the machine. So basically, you put your legs up, and it's a German company.
So and you really are stressing your hips,
just your glutes,
and your glutes.
Right.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So the company is called Gym 80 International. Like I said, it's a German company. They've been around since 1980. This is my first time finding out about them.
Mm-hmm.
And they say handcrafted strength machines. And they apparently ship worldwide. So I'm trying to see if I can find the specific machine we were just looking at. So that's a pendulum squat. See, okay. All right, I think this is it. So yeah, that's it. So that gives you a little bit more of a, so obviously it is in German, but that gives you a little bit of a better view of the machine. It's the booty booster, and that's a skeleton, but whatever. But yeah, I figured you specifically would be interested in it. But they got a lot of unique machines. You guys if y'all want to see it. Oh, there we go. So you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of interesting.
That is rather fascinating. I'll definitely check out their Instagram and look at it a little bit more, because I'm like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I went ahead and I'll post that in the chat right there, so you guys can check that out as well. All right. So before we let you get out of here, I said I've been trying to end the show with things I've learned. And so before we let you get out of here and get the next part of your day started, what are some things that you've learned? Because you've got your own YouTube channel. She's still helping out with Garage Gym Life, but she's also got a YouTube channel that does other things. So go ahead and tell people about it, just in case somebody doesn't know what it is. And then talk about, what you've learned over the course of creating a different kind of content for that channel, or just in general.
As a content creator, I'm still learning to be able to see content everywhere. I mean, like John sees content just in little things, and I'm still trying to be able to say, oh wait, that's content, and be able to grab that. I'm still shy in a lot of ways, so I'm still working through those hesitation points, but I'm getting better at it. And then of course, with my channel, while the focus is on remote work or work from home office solutions, there are a lot of things that happen at home for those of us that do work from home that a lot of people don't realize or don't even think about. So it is opening up opportunity to look at more with that work-life balance, so that way you are able to be productive at work and still have that work-life balance at home. So again, I'm still growing in my content creator realm. It's still new. And again, I appreciate all you guys that are supporting me in my channel as I'm continuing to grow in it. And I look forward to where it'll go from here. You're mute. I can't hear you at all.
Oops. Sorry about that. So one of the things that we're doing is so Naomi let's just simplify. I was about to say it in a much more complicated way. Basically, Naomi likes to see you guys' at-home office, like your desk setups, right?
Yes.
So Jared is one person who has submitted it, and in fact, we got a little bit of time. I'll see if I can't pull.
We have Jared. We've had Carlos. My friend Melly. Perrin has sent her setup. Casey has sent it. So I mean, it's interesting to see what is the perfect setup for you at home to help you be able to be productive, creative, and successful from your home gym. I mean, from your home office.
So okay, I've got it pulled up now. I had to just find it, but this is Jared, since I know he's watching. So this is Jared's desk setup here, and I thought it was kind of cool. Heck, he might be. Well, actually, he's probably in the gym right now, but I know he's.
Oh, you got a new. I'm sorry, Jared just posted in the chat. He's got a new and pretty ergonomic keyboard for Christmas.
Hey, you know what to
I'd
do,
like to
Jared.
see it. Send me a
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, send the video and we can add it to the Naomi can add it to her channel.
Absolutely.
So hey, what's up, Kurt? Kurt says, in my new role, I work at home, so I guess I'll check out the channel. Hey, dude, I'm telling you, we
I want to
appreciate it.
see your setup.
Yeah, we got a ton of them. In fact, let me pull up Carlos's as well.
Yeah.
So let me go here. Let's see, where is Carlos? Carlos.
He is the one all the way over to the fifth one. There we go.
That one? Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. So this is Carlos's setup. You guys can see right there. This is the command center where he streams video games and does other things from. So those all his content. It's really nice. You guys check that out. So all we do is basically people, for the most part, people have been sending it to me, but you can also send it to Naomi. And go ahead when I'm thinking about it, you guys want to follow Naomi on Instagram, follow at Naomi Harris Greaves on Instagram. And that way you can reach out to her, just say, hey, I've got a home office setup I want to put on your channel. You can also put a comment on her channel and say, hey, I want to send you my home office setup. Or even if it's just a desk setup, it doesn't have to be elaborate as Carlos is set up here. But yeah, I enjoy looking at them now too. So definitely you guys continue to send them in, and we appreciate everybody who's shared their content. We kind of like went at it from the kind of like, home gyms. We do home gym tours. This is like a desk tour almost, but then Naomi also does, because she's got this perspective on years of experience working from home. I like that you've got like the tips and stuff that you show, like ways to be more productive, things that people haven't thought about. So yeah, I'll put the link. Actually, this video is a collaborative video with Naomi's channel. So you guys can definitely check out the channel, and you see the handle there under her on her name right there. So go ahead, check it out. Anything you want to share before you get out of here?
Other than the fact that, I'm really excited to see what 2026 is going to do for this channel. In addition to my channel, and we're growing, and just the support that that you guys give to us with the morning show, and that we're able to give to you guys. Which is funny that we all have home gyms. We don't always see each other in the gym. But we support each other, we cheer each other on, and events like Home Gym Con, it's like getting together with friends and family. So it's not a stranger. So thanks so very much, and Happy New Year! Absolutely.
Hey, Happy New Year to everybody in the UK, including our guy Matt. So. Okay, Kurt says he's gonna have to clean up the space first. You'd be surprised how many people have told Naomi that. They're like, I'll send it to you, but I gotta clean up my desk first. Okay. And Jared said, John asking me to send a video was great motivation to clean up my desk, so it looks better now than it has in years. After cleaning a stack of junk papers off of it and dusting. Hey, my desk it's like I feel like I clean it off and then I turn around and it's cluttered again. Like right now, it's too cluttered to me.
I have stuff to the side too, because I have my work. I have two separate work desk setups. So I have one set up to the side, and then I have this one, what I'm on right now. So shortly I'll be swapping it over in just a few minutes. So yeah,
so definitely. So if you are watching and you have a home office setup and you want to feature it on Naomi's channel, just go ahead and hit us up. You can also message me, but we'll make it happen. All right. All right, baby. Go ahead and I'll let you go and get your day started. Appreciate you hanging out with me as always.
Of course. Yeah. Hanging out with all you guys is a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys. And I'll go ahead and I'll put the bacon in the oven.
Thank you. You're such a good woman. There you go. You're such a good woman. All right. I'll talk to you later.
Bye,
all right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. So that was my awesome wife, Naomi, who, I feel like marrying her all over again when she told me she's going to put bacon in the oven. so I can eat it after the show is over. But before I do that, I get to hang out with you guys for another hour. And so we are just about at the 8 o'clock hour. So I'm going to go ahead and just say good morning to you guys who are in the Mountain Time Zone right now. If you are just joining us, thank you for giving the show a try. Yes, that is correct, JB. I am a firm, proud member of the crispy bacon team. Okay, I don't believe bacon shouldn't fall over. Okay, bacon shouldn't have like the same mechanics as a sock. Okay, bacon should be crispy. If you drop some bacon on the floor, it should shatter into at least 3 pieces if you cooked it right. Okay, don't burn it. Is an art form, but I am definitely on team crispy bacon. But yeah, and JB said this is motivating him to clean my work area and revamp it. I've got vertical stack monitors for my personal and dual swivel monitors for my job desk. Hey man, clean it off and then send it in and we can put it on the channel. Like I said, Naomi loves seeing these different setups because she'll always see it and she'll be like, oh, that's cool. You know, and another thing is that it's an opportunity because this channel is about home gym stuff. It's an opportunity to talk about another aspect of optimizing your home to make it the best experience for you. And that includes if you work from home. Okay. So yeah, we're just trying to serve an underserved population. And as a side note, I'm really proud of her because she started the channel Thanksgiving and she's already over 1,500 subscribers. So I know that there is a definite hunger for that sort of content out there. So appreciate you guys who, yeah, so I knew you said vertical stack monitors. So I appreciate all you guys. Anyway, so if you are watching the show right now, this is Upway. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. Whether you're getting up and getting ready to hit the gym or you are getting ready to head into the office, we appreciate you spending a little bit of time with us. We're heading into the final hour of the show. One thing before I bring on my next guest, if you're watching on LinkedIn, please make sure that you are following our LinkedIn show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. That way you don't miss a single episode. You don't miss any of these interviews. I'm not kidding you. We interview some of the most influential people who affect the home gym community. Some of them are people that honestly, this is your first time meeting them through this show. And that's one of the things that I'm really passionate about. I want to be an interface to allow brands who have products that you need or services you need to connect in the most direct way possible with the consumers in the home gym community who need their products or services. And so this show is a great way to do that. So if you're a brand, you want to come on the show, follow the show page, message me on the show page, drop a comment, let me know you want to come on. You can also send an email to john@garageGymLifeMedia.com. That's our show booking email, and we will definitely make it happen. All right. So now my next guest is Ari Kimmelfeld. I hope I said your name correctly. It's a shame. This is my second time interviewing him, and but it was so long ago in my defense that I forgot if I said it correctly the last time I talked to him or not. So I have to ask him again. But Ari is the founder of the brand that was formerly known as Trade My Stuff. So he was a guest on the show in May of 2025, and he's coming back to talk about rebranding because they've rebranded as Commonplace. And so we're going to talk about the reasons behind the rebrand. And also I want to hear about how Ari continues to push the envelope and disrupt the used exercise equipment market. So let's go ahead and add him to the show. Are you ready? Ready? All right. He said thumbs up. So everybody, let's bring on our guest, Ari Kimmelfeld. What's up?
John, good morning. Thanks for the intro.
Hey, what's up, man? Hi, dude.
I'm doing great.
See you again, man.
Yeah,
man, I've
great,
been good,
great
man.
to see you.
Yeah, man, we're trying to grow over here and expand the platform so it's worth your time to come on the show because we want people to see what you have to offer, man. Yeah, man. I think you guys
thanks for having me,
dude. I think you have an awesome product because just to give some background, all right, and some of this we kind of covered the last time you were on the show, but So I started my home gym journey or my home workout journey in 2001. And the struggle was trying to find equipment. And so at that time, back in the 20th century, kids, we would have to like look at the newspaper, the classifieds. Craigslist didn't exist yet. I remember when Craigslist started. I remember when Facebook started and they didn't have a marketplace. So trying to get equipment was always a little bit of a chore. I would go to Play It Again Sports, but each Play It Again Sports is a franchise. So it may not have. So what one location has, the next one might not have. And it was just really, really cumbersome. So seeing platforms like yours that really make it easy, like we went on your site last night again for the second time, and we were just kind of like looking around, and I'll say this is so much easier because it's location based and all that. So to me, this is the sort of thing that I think more people need to know about. You've been in some really high-end magazines and publications and platforms. So just the fact that you got time for me, man, is awesome. So thank you for being here.
No, I really appreciate it. I mean, what you're doing is awesome. I mean, a lot of things you're talking about are super relevant. And, for people looking for gym equipment or in the fitness space, I think a lot of the things that you touch on are not something that you can find in most places, but are super relevant and helpful for people. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
So let's go ahead and let's start with the first thing. Trade My Stuff made sense. I could immediately understand what that meant, right? Why was it important to rebrand from Trade My Stuff to Commonplace?
So I'll tell you, my thinking on it. There are some, if we're just talking about the world of brands and branding, I'm definitely no expert, but there are some brands that are very literal, right? And some are the opposite of literal. And those kind of serve the same purpose. But then you have some brands that are more arbitrary, and then, maybe there's some meaning to the word. And then over time, what a brand really is, if you think about it, is it's a promise to the customer. Meaning when you hear that word, that name, that brand, it's a promise that they're going to deliver on something with a certain style, right? So like when you think of Apple, you're thinking of an iPhone, a MacBook, super high quality, high trust. That's what comes to mind. When you think of something a little bit more, I guess the opposite of literal can be something like kayak.com, right? So they took a word that's a very simple, literal word. Obviously, they don't sell kayaks, but you can book your trip. And then you have something like hotels.
I guess that makes sense because Apple doesn't sell apples.
Right. Yeah, they don't. But it's a brand.
Yeah. We just so used to it.
That stands for something. So like when you hear Apple,
you
associate that with something.
Gotcha.
And same thing with like hotels.com, right? It's like that's a very literal brand, but it also stands for something. Hotels.com, like there's a certain amount of trust. There's an app that's easy to use. You get like bonus nights. So that's kind of like part of the brand. So you would go there before you go to like Hilton.com, even though people know Hilton just as much as they know hotels.com, or approximately the same. So Trade My Stuff, it's super simple, and I like things that are really straightforward. So I love the name, but if you go down to the root of it, it's extremely transactional. It's like trade my stuff. It's like you have to have something to trade, but we don't necessarily trade on our marketplace. And I think if I'm thinking about what the brand is and what the promise is to the user, our promise is really like high trust, hassle-free, extremely frictionless transactions. When you're getting rid of something, you don't have to think about it. You don't have a bunch of messages, in your Facebook Messenger about people saying, "Hi, is this interested? Hi, is this available?" But then,
oh my God, yes.
And like not showing up, and like, you just don't have time to respond to 30 messages on one product. And then like maybe 2 of them are interested, but then you also like, there's a lot of friction, right? And so part of what we're doing is removing the friction of secondhand items And, Commonplace, part of that is moving away from something that is too literal, where people automatically jump to a certain conclusion. So it's kind of giving us a blank canvas to be able to build our brand and, basically, reinforce our promise by just delivering the service over and over versus just living up to what the word means to people, if that makes sense.
So I pulled up your Instagram because when I was looking at it, it looked like, we were talking about community in the home gym community, but we're talking about we actually have a community in the home gym community, right? And so I got the same feel when I looked at your Instagram.
Thank you.
Because for example, this right here, this post is you guys celebrating your customer wins. Yep. And you're naming, you're naming people, and you can see their names. If anybody goes to Instagram, you want to follow try Commonplace on Instagram, and you'll see this. It's got people's names. It's got the reviews, like the things that they were able to do, how their lives changed because they used your site, as opposed to just, oh yeah, well, we sell stuff, right? Exactly. And so that's one of the things one of the touch points that I really like. Because I mentioned Played Against Sports and how, the different locations are different. Well, one of our favorite ones is not, to be honest with you, it's not even the most easy thing to navigate through. It's fairly cluttered. But when you walk in there, it's like one of those, well, you're from New York, right? So you understand, you go down to your local, your bodega or these local stores, the person knows you, or the deli. Yeah. You're not just going in there, like a deli anywhere else where you just get your stuff and go. It's the person's you develop a relationship. They're like, hey, yeah. And that's how we feel at that place. So it makes us want to go there, even though maybe some of the the more it doesn't have that corporate feel. You know what I mean? It's not how corporate would design a store. Right. Sterile. And so, And so Commonplace gives me that same, oh, okay. So this is kind of about the people. So we actually have a question from the chat, and I knew this was going to kind of come up. So that's why I was trying to prepare you. Right. So is this the guy that disrupted the Peloton game? I'm like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said when they started charging a reactivation fee on used and refurbished items. And that was, I would say that was partially because of your success. So, own it. You disrupted Peloton, and not just them, but what about that when people say
I don't know about disrupt Peloton. I mean, one of the things we didn't like about that was that, they had already sold the product and they had already collected the sale, the revenue on that initial sale. And so at that point, they were just trying to tap into, the secondhand market of somebody trying to, get into the Peloton ecosystem, which instead of embracing something like that, which I think, they should have, just because, somebody is now giving Peloton a try. They're paying $50 a month for their subscription. They're getting their feet wet, and, they might not be able to afford a $2,000 bike or a treadmill. And so they're going on the secondhand market. They're picking something up for $400. I think now you could get a Peloton for $100 or $200, depends on where you are. And so they're able to get their feet wet, and they still can afford a $50 a month subscription, but a $95 activation fee.
Yeah.
And it was branded as we're helping you get a premium experience when you activate your bike. So at least that I mean, it was basically a cash grab, to put it simply.
Of course. And I mean, so, I understand, given what else was going on with their company at the time, they had to figure out something, but still,
yeah. But it was kind of like the bottom of the barrel, in my opinion. And I called it a tax, just straight up. They were just taxing people that were interested in Peloton for the first time because now they can afford it. Right. Instead of embracing them, they kind of started taxing, folks that were just getting interested. And so what we did was we immediately, same day, an hour after the announcement, just said, we're going to refund the activation fee. So if you were buying a Peloton, and at the time we had them for I think it was like $499, so like a third of the price new.
Right.
And so if you were buying one from us for $499, we would actually give you $95 back. So your total would be $405. And that would basically reimburse you for the $95 activation fee that Peloton was charging at the time.
And the thing is, so I know you don't want to kind of bring it up, but I'll bring it up.
Sure.
Because the fact of the matter is that they were having some some issues, because apparently, allegedly, they had told investors that they had all the, the demand for their product was this amount, and they had a bunch of product in warehouses. And so that's why I said I can understand where they're like, well, we want to sell these new ones. This guy is over here selling used product. We're not making any money off of it. And then we still got these brand new units that are still sitting in warehouses. At the same time, that's got nothing to do with the consumer. It's not the consumer's fault, and they're the ones that are paying the price of it because they're just adding, because that doesn't even make any sense. It's like when you buy something, one of the selling points is, oh, you've got 2 months left on the membership, and that's included in the price for something like that.
Yeah.
But now they're like, oh, no, you got to do an activation fee where you're starting from scratch. And I agree with you. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. I would say that, what happened was just a matter of like history, right? Like during COVID, you have really serious, pull forward demand, essentially, which it was like 5 years plus of pull forward demand in a matter of 12 months, maybe 18 months. And so you have all these people buying Pelotons during those 18 months of COVID, that for the next 5 years, those people are not going to consider buying a Peloton. And what happened was, because it was such a different customer or consumer base that was buying Pelotons during COVID than the typical people that want to get into indoor fitness in a serious way, you then have those equipment end up on the secondhand market one way or another, or at least not being used one way or another. And so for the next 5 years since COVID, Peloton is struggling to sell new product, because the product that they were going to sell for the next 5 years was sold within 18 months, right? So now how do you sell more product? Well, what they did was they released a newer version of the product, so that the people that are serious about indoor fitness can now consider, the new Peloton product. But you still have basically a glut of Peloton equipment, and that was basically the premise and why we, got started with Peloton, was because I think the number was 4.5 million, and now it's over 5 million units that were produced pretty much since they started manufacturing equipment. And this number is declining slowly, but you have about 2.8 million subscribers, active subscribers, paying $49 or $50 a month to use their Pelotons. And so I think only about 10% of users use the Peloton without subscribing. So you pretty much have 1.5 million plus of unused equipment. And so that was basically the number that we were like, if there are over 1 million units that are not being used, let's at least make it super easy for people to purchase and get into the Peloton ecosystem. And to just talk about the Peloton point, every incremental delivery, every customer that purchases and uses a used Peloton is incremental revenue to Peloton, right? So they are making money on our transactions.
Oh yeah, because they're still doing a subscription.
We're taking a bike that was not being used for the last 2 years or 3 years, right? Because it was purchased during COVID, and now COVID is over. People are going to the gym, so they haven't been using that Peloton. We're picking it up from a non-user, and we're bringing it to someone that is excited about getting on a Peloton, and now they can finally afford it, and they can afford the subscription. So they're excited. They're getting onto the subscription, and Peloton is just adding a tax, or they were adding a tax. I think they're still doing it, but they're basically adding a tax to that subscription.
So we have 2 comments. Well, first a question. So Furnace, New York City. This is your first time on the show. I appreciate you getting up way too early with Garage from Life. They said, didn't Peloton raise their prices? And I think that that's part of what you were just addressing, that they did these things because again, they've got. Okay, I mean, this isn't even like a secret. The person who was like their CEO or whatever, he's like in the rug market or something like that. He didn't even work in the fitness industry anymore, So they had some serious things happen with their company. And I mean, to be honest with you, the people who are most affected are going to be the employees. So I hope they get everything worked out for the sake of those employees and for the sake of people who love the product. At the same time, I just don't like the fact that, I was concerned because I was like, does that impact your ability to run your business and add value to the community in the way that you were? So then the second comment is from our guy, Dennis. What's going on, Dennis? Happy New Year, man, to you and your family. He said, so he does, he sets up gyms for home gyms for people, including setting up equipment. And he says, we have Peloton maintenance jobs coming up, but he said that people want out of the subscriptions. And so that kind of goes back to what you're saying. It's like there are people who are like, look, I'm done with this subscription. Well, now that bike's just going to sit, or whatever Peloton product it is, it's just going to sit there unless the person is able to find somewhere else, to take it. And so I think that's why Commonplace is so important. So everybody, you see the website link going across the bottom. Visit trycommonplace.com.
That's a neat feature.
Hey. I could say it all day. I say, you know what? We try to find a platform that would allow us to just put that kind of stuff up there. So, subliminally, if it keeps going, eventually somebody will visit the website. That's my theory anyway. So I want to say one thing I want to mention too is your warranty is a little bit more robust than the Peloton warranty, as far as I recall. So for someone who did not see when you first came on the show last time in May, talk about this other way that you add value, because you do give a warranty, and then also talk about your white glove service too.
Yeah, for sure. So what is Commonplace, right? I think pretty much it's similar to Facebook Marketplace or another secondhand marketplace, even Craigslist or OfferUp. The difference is, though, that we offer like a white glove pickup and delivery service. And so if you've ever heard of like anybody getting scammed on any marketplace, whether it's through Zelle or Venmo, or people not showing up, and even if it's not scammed, there's a lot of time that's being wasted. Of you're waiting for someone to come, but they don't come. You're getting a bunch of messages. You're responding to a bunch of messages. And at the end of the day, even if you go through all of that hassle, the hassle is really just ahead of you. If you have a big squat rack in your gym and somebody comes to pick it up, most likely you're going to have to help them get it out of your gym, right? And if it's a treadmill on the second floor, most likely you're going to have to like lift that treadmill and get it down. And what happens if like, you chip your stairs or you drop it or it breaks, right? And then now the person is not going to want to buy it. So there's a lot of friction leading up to the transaction itself. And then there's also like payments. And then like you mentioned, there's a warranty issue, which is like if you buy something secondhand on Facebook or Craigslist or OfferUp and it breaks in a week, what do you do? Or it breaks in 6 months, right? Most of these manufacturers, like Peloton, for example, they're not going to offer a secondhand warranty on something that you're buying on the secondhand marketplace. And so that's partly where we come in. So basically the way it works is somebody goes ahead, and it's mostly peer-to-peer. So kind of like Facebook. So if somebody goes ahead and lists their item, and we basically, once it sells, we basically go in, we pick it up, we inspect it, we make sure everything is extremely good condition or as described. So we match the listing to the product. We have a 30-point inspection upon pickup, and then we pay the seller immediately upon pickup. So whether it's Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, or bank transfer, the seller gets paid immediately. So there's absolutely no scams. You don't have strangers coming to your home, and we have like a trained delivery team that comes in and picks it up. And so if you're selling a treadmill, well, that treadmill has to be disassembled. So our team has been trained on how to disassemble a treadmill and move it out. If it's a hot tub, obviously that's a little bit more complicated. So we have a hot tub inspection, make sure it's not leaking, make sure that the cover is good. If not, we replace the cover, and then we deliver whatever that item is to the customer. And we've recently expanded our delivery network to be able to service 1,000 miles. So if you think about that, I mean, just the other day, we delivered a Tread Plus that was purchased for less than $2,000 from New York to Ohio. And it was delivered, I think, for like $2,600 total. So a Tread Plus, sells for, I think, $6,500 or $7,000. And it was basically delivered over 300 miles away for pretty much less than 50% off of what that item retails for. And there's an option for a warranty. So we offer a 12-month warranty, something that you can't get from the manufacturer. So if anything breaks, we basically send our service team out to repair it free of charge. Or if it can't be fixed, we replace it with another gently used item. So if it's a Nordic Track treadmill, and it's making a weird noise, which happens sometimes with treadmills, we'll send somebody out, we'll try to fix the noise. If it's something that's, if it's not powering on, then we replace it with another Nordic Track treadmill within a week. So you basically have that security that you would have if you're buying from Best Buy of an item malfunctioning, right? But you have it on the secondhand marketplace, which is really unprecedented if you've ever used Craigslist or Facebook.
Yes. That's why I was like, this is big. It's one of the things. Let me go. I want to go onto your website so that people can kind of see it. And I see your question, Dennis. I'm gonna ask that in a second, but I want to go ahead and pull this up here so people can kind of see what you're talking about. So you can put in. So when you go on the website, obviously you tell them, your location or whatever, and you have the option of either. So I think it defaults to buy stuff, but if you have something to sell, you can also click on that. And so it's basically like you've actually branched out beyond just cardio equipment. Now you guys have a lot of stuff. So I don't know if everybody can see this, but you've got like Rogue and Rep fitness racks. You've got barbells. I even see Iron Master adjustable dumbbells as an option. Smart mirrors, all kinds of different things. The legendary Bowflex. You got adjustable dumbbells. I mean, Nuobells is on here. All right, the SmartFit Nuobell. So this isn't something that is it's not kind of like, because you mentioned OfferUp, and I can say having tried to use OfferUp, I've gotten some stuff off of there, but it was like very, very limited, right? This is where you can go to get legitimate high-end stuff. And Carp, who is a content creator, he's already posted something in that yeah. And so that's the thing. So that's one of the things that you and I included in the questions, because I knew this was going to come up as soon as I brought you back on the show, because people are going to say, oh, wait a minute, I've got this stuff. I could sell it. So this is another good way to make money. If you happen to have, for whatever reason, you happen to have, gently used gym equipment in your home, then you can go to Commonplace and you can sell it. So I'll let you kind of like describe the process, but this is what you see when you first, go on, you click the sell stuff thing, and it just shows. I was actually very impressed with the variety of products that are available. So like the Assault Bike, the Hydro. I think you had if I click on rower, I'm not gonna do it now, but if I click on rower, it breaks it down to like, is it an ergata? It's just, there's a lot of options in there. And so talk about just kind of like how that works if somebody from the seller side, because you mentioned, you can buy it, you go over and you inspect it and everything. Yeah. So how long, somebody puts a listing on there, how long would you say is the average time for people to at least like see it? Like, I guess what I'm trying to ask is like about website traffic,
Yeah.
Versus if I put it on Facebook Marketplace, it might be on there forever and nobody sees it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So one of the things that we do is we actually proactively advertise every single listing, like literally. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. On an individual level. So on all different kinds of platforms. So, products are in Google Shopping, products are on Craigslist, products are on Facebook Marketplace, they're on OfferUp. sometimes even Amazon, but a bunch of different shopping channels that products can show up on. And so, that's not something Facebook Marketplace is doing. Our goal is to basically help people that are selling their items basically get rid of it without even thinking about messages, without thinking about offers. So you made a listing, right, for a rower the other day. And one of the questions that we ask is, we give you like what you can list it at, right? Your listing price. And then we also ask like, what's your floor price? And the floor price question, I think, is super important, just because it starts to let people be honest with themselves, right? When you're listing something on Facebook Marketplace, and let's say it's a hot tub, and hot tubs can go for like $10,000, but when you want to get rid of it, and sometimes you want to get rid of it for a good reason, like let's say you're putting down pavement and you want to put a basketball court and the hot tub is in the way, or you're moving homes and you want to see if you can recoup some of the money. Well, if you list it too high, you're not going to get the clicks, you're not going to get the attention. And so if you're honest with yourself, you're like, I bought this for $10,000, but I would be happy if somebody came to pick it up for $4,000, but you listed at $8,000. Now, when you list it at $8,000, you're like, okay, like I paid 10, 8 is a decent price, right? But you're not really looking at what the other listings are there for. And so that floor price is like, it's asking you, what is like the best price that you would be happy with accepting at the end of the day? And what that does is on Facebook Marketplace, when people send you messages, right, you have it listed for, 8,000, but people are sending you offers all the time. And you have to respond to the offers one at a time. And so if somebody is offering you 5,000 or 6,000 or 2,000,
they want to bargain.
Every single time you have to like question it, and you have to like think to yourself, well, what is that number? Versus with this system, you just ask yourself once, like, what is that number that I would be happy with? And if it's 4,000, like, let me put in that number once. And so what we do is, if there is an offer that is, above the floor price, but below your original price, it'll basically auto accept that number. So like, let's say you listed at 8,000, your floor price is 4,000, and somebody makes an offer for 6, you don't even have to think about it. Like, you already know that you would be happy with anything above 4. So it just auto accepts, and you sell your item, right? So now the person that put in an offer is happy because they just put an offer, and 10 seconds later, it's accepted, right? And you're happy because that's one less message that you have to respond to, that you would have had to respond to on Facebook Messenger, or you get dinged for not responding to messages, right? So the whole point here is like a hassle-free experience for people selling their items. And we're starting with the higher end stuff, just because that's where more of the people are searching, right? And so like you mentioned, like an Ergato rower, some of the higher end other fitness equipment, but we have a pretty wide range of categories, and that's only expanding. I mean, the goal is for you to be able to really just furnish your whole home gym on Commonplace and do it with like a click of a button, like get 5 items, 10 items for your home gym and get it set up within a week, and you save 70% of the cost of the home gym. And if you're getting rid of your gym, or you're upgrading your gym, well, now you can just get rid of all of your stuff all in the same place and get a moving team to come and pick it up and pay you upon pickup.
Clip that. Heck yeah, I love that. So that is why. So this so I'm gonna go with Carp's question here first, because it kind of relates to what you just said. Because as I mentioned to you, this sounds like a great option for content creators. It saves a lot of time, because you get, once you start doing this, you start getting a high volume of product that comes through your home, right? And I don't have a warehouse, so unless something fits with my training, my current training, or at least something, a style of training I know I'm going to be doing over the course of the next 6 months, I got to get rid of it, because otherwise the next group of things that's coming in is that's going to inhibit me from being able to do anything else, right? And so we've actually had a situation where we had 3 power racks and so just for perspective, our garage gym is 16 by 25. we had 3 power racks. So there was one outside in like the little storage area, and then 2 side by side on that, and you could see them on camera. So imagine trying to train in that. I know some people like having 2 power racks, one that they can put attachments. So I'm not about that life. So I'm just saying that's just a lot of junk. And so it just makes more sense. And so a lot of us will, if we're like, okay, well, I like this product, I think it's great, but it doesn't fit my training, we sell it. And your website or your platform is like, I was like, oh, could be a game changer for us. Because it makes it so easy. And also another thing is too, I look at it as kind of like vetting what I say, because one of the things that we get when we do a product review and then we get rid of it is people say, oh, well, if it was that good, you wouldn't get rid of it. Well, you have you're going to be sending somebody to my house to make sure that this thing is what I say it is. So that to me is like, hey, it's just confirmation, independent confirmation that I'm not making this up. I just don't have room for it. You know what I mean? So I just think it's a definitely win-win for everybody. So this is a question. I know you said you guys don't warehouse things. So, but I want Dennis to go ahead and get his question answered. So he says, Ari, I recently jumped on a podcast. I'm not sure if you answered this already, but did you start out with renting storage spaces to hold equipment? So this isn't a podcast. This is a talk show. But anyway, go ahead. So you guys don't hold inventory, you told me, but did you ever have inventory in the past?
Yeah, we definitely had inventory in the past. And when you're dealing with 5 SKUs, it's definitely easier to have inventory than dealing with hundreds or thousands of SKUs. But I think the thing we're trying to support is really the secondhand market and making the secondhand market the way that it should be, which is in this day and age, when you've been purchasing on Amazon, for some people it's 25 years, but for a lot of people it's like the last 10 years. You're purchasing on Amazon with an app, with payments on a credit card. There's really no reason why you need to travel 25 miles and show up in cash and not even know the person you're meeting up with, and waste a bunch of time.
I've been to some sketchy places. I've been to some sketchy places. I can't even imagine if I were a woman, because I've heard some horror stories from like you meet some weirdo in a parking lot and then they don't. So I can't. Even imagine.
And so it basically it restricts a lot of people from even using this and benefiting from the secondhand market. And so I see what we're doing as kind of democratizing secondhand marketplace access. People that don't have a Facebook account, right? Like there's all these great things on Facebook Marketplace that people can't even access, can't even purchase, can't even find. It's too far away. They can't deliver it. It's too heavy. There's no warranty. So there's a lot of friction. And so that's really the North Star, is basically enabling and democratizing the secondhand market, to make it as easy as Amazon. And we deliver faster than Amazon, believe it or not. So we deliver same day or next day for items that are really heavy.
Nice. Hey, talk your talk. There you go. So I got a question here from Carp. He said, what would you say an average item sells for? Is it half, 2/3 of retail? Like what would you say an average item sells for?
It
I guess I'm trying to say like how much
on
we
the
get
season.
back.
Yeah. It depends on the season, and it depends on what the item is. Hot tubs, if they're in really good condition and it's a recent hot tub, it can go for even 30% or 40% below retail. Obviously, there are some hot tubs that are 10, 15 years old that do have some issues, and the sellers note that there are leaks or that there are jets that are missing or something like that, and they'll basically go for almost free. Like $500 for what used to be a $10,000 hot tub. Pelotons, obviously, we actually have a tracker for the Peloton prices. And so that you can get for basically 90-95% off retail. So it depends on the product. It depends on the season. Right now, gym.
So like cardio stuff is going to be right now. It's going to probably be pretty move.
Cardio is hot, but all gym equipment. New year, new me. So you have a lot of home gym equipment that's really hot right now. But at the same time, you have to think about what the sellers are trying to get for their equipment. And a lot of the time, it's equipment that they're not using, or they're upgrading to something new. And so they just, for them, it's just a hassle to get rid of it. And, we're helping them get rid of their stuff. So if you're looking to buy something, you could find things that are like 80% below retail. But I would say the average is probably between 50 and 70% off retail for the customer.
Okay. So
and that's with delivery.
Actually, hold up here. So JB says, I might start finally reviewing machines and bigger cardio pieces now I know about this service, because selling big stuff on Marketplace is the worst. I co-sign this 100%. Is the worst experience in the world. Yeah, people show up and they're like, like they won't ask you like what the measurements are, or they show up and they don't have something that's big enough to haul it. And you're like, well, what am I supposed? Or they show up and they can't possibly. I've had this only happen one time, but somebody showed up and they weren't strong enough to get the piece of equipment in their vehicle, and they didn't bring anybody to help. So so I had to help them, which is fine. But I mean, what if I was sick, or what if my wife was the one doing it, or whatever, So,
100%. And sometimes there's like a technical component, like
yes,
the tonal home gym is like one of the most popular products right now on our marketplace, and like you have to disinstall it from the wall, and so you're dealing with somebody else's wall, and then you have to install it on your wall. Like you're putting bolts into a wall. You really have to know what you're doing. And you also have to make sure that you log out of the account. You don't want to get like restricted. And so these are like real issues that, you would be avoiding by using a service, like Commonplace.
So so I see like the tonals, and I went ahead and I put in listings for Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah. And because I was trying to, I mean, I could have changed, I guess, to Atlanta too, but I was trying to find it to kind of assess what it's like in a bigger market. But because you all service area is so wide.
Yep.
There's also Carp said, I feel like a lot of people would pay a little extra to have it picked up and delivered. So is this delivery? Is there a delivery charge, or is that included in the pricing?
Yeah. So there is a delivery charge. The team that's picking it up and delivering it, obviously we have to cover the cost of the labor.
So the customer, the buyer pays the delivery charge though.
Yeah, so there's a delivery charge and there's a pickup charge. So you have the hassle-free experience on both ends. So for the seller, if you have a tonal that's on the wall on the second floor in the attic, and has to be removed, sometimes the removal and disassembly, or even like a treadmill or a hot tub, can take up to 2 hours, right? To fully disassemble, to fully drain a hot tub or a swim spa or something like that. And so it takes time on both ends. And so, there is a delivery charge. It is highly subsidized. Like I think the cost to move a treadmill, like if you were just paying a moving company for like a Peloton treadmill, is like $600, $700, $800 in some cases. And so for us, I think the base fee is like $249, and then it's $1 per mile. So like move a treadmill 50 miles is $300, and a Peloton Tread Plus is like I think 420 pounds. So you need 4 people. So imagine like a moving team of 4 people that are trained in that Tread Plus. They know how to disassemble it. They're taking an hour to disassemble it, move it downstairs. They have all the right equipment, and they reassemble it. And you're moving that for $400. Like I think we moved the Tread Plus to Ohio 300 miles, and it was like $650.
Wow.
To do that, and they got the Tread Plus for a super great price. So and there were no Tread Pluses in Ohio, right? Which is why they ordered it in New York to be delivered. So we're basically like, it's going back to that democratizing secondhand marketplaces. Like we're giving that customer an ability to get a Tread Plus for $2,000 plus the $600 delivery fee in Ohio, where she wouldn't otherwise be able to get a Tread Plus at these prices. And it's for the holiday season, so it's like peaks. Like if she would have ordered it new, it would have been 3 times the price, and she would have to wait 6 to 8 weeks to get it delivered. So
nice.
It's a win-win-win, for everyone.
So this you've already kind of answered this already, but Dennis, because of what he does, he's like, hey, are you working with subcontractors? So let's refine the question, because you kind of already, obviously you've hired delivery teams. How does somebody, if Dennis wanted to work with you, what would he have to do to become a subcontractor through you? or with you?
So we have an onboarding and a training process. So there is like a Commonplace special touch. I don't know if you've seen our reviews, but we basically have a 5.0 review rating on Google Maps. And so there is like that white glove service that we train above a typical moving team. So there is a training process. So every single category has its own quiz and training. And so you have to watch a video, you have to, read basically instructions for how to disassemble, how to make sure that nothing breaks. Like we've seen it all. So, in the thousands of items that we've delivered, we know what breaks and how it breaks. And so every single time something goes wrong, we add it to that video, we add it to those instructions. And then we give you like a short quiz, and you have to score, I think, above an 85% or something like that to make sure that you substantially understood the material for that specific category. So there's a hot tub category, there's a treadmill category, there's a tonal category. So the more items that we deliver, the more delivery categories there are. And so that's how we train the movers that are doing it. And then there's also just the basic, Commonplace, like customer service training.
Sure.
Because like at the end of the day, we want our customers to really understand that this is very different from Facebook Marketplace. And if something gets delivered and there's an issue with the treadmill, like we will take care of you, despite the fact that it's already been picked up from the seller. We go really above and beyond to make sure that we make it right, even if it's not necessarily the delivery team's fault.
So I'm actually glad you mentioned that, because that answered the next question. But what I meant was, does he just go on your website to find the link to be able to start that?
There is, I believe at the bottom of the website, there is a sign up to be a driver. And so that basically, adds you to a list to start the training.
Oh, I see it. I pulled it. It says become a service provider. So
exactly.
You want to go to trycommonplace.com and then scroll down to the bottom, and I'll go ahead and I'll put that link. The link is in the video description. So if you're watching on replay, you guys in replay gang can check that out. But I'm just going to go ahead to save you from having to go scrolling back to this. I just went ahead and I put it in the live chat right now. Okay. But yeah, you go there and you scroll to the bottom and you'll see it. It's like become a service provider. But so I'm going to answer your question about how he gets paid next. But I want to kind of have you expand on what you just said a little bit about taking care of it, because Home Gym Physique, who's in the UK, I believe. What's up, man? Good. I hope you had a good Christmas. He said, if selling an item and the buyer gets a year warranty, something goes wrong after 8 months, how would this affect the seller? Would the seller need to pay anything back? Or because you guys inspect it, do you guys just take care of it?
100%. Great question. So once the seller sells an item, they're not responsible for any of the warranty. So we cover all the warranty claims. So the warranty is through Commonplace, not the seller, right? If you're buying on Facebook Marketplace, you typically don't get a warranty. It's not heard of that a seller will give you a warranty for a product that they're selling. So obviously, the seller is not responsible or on the hook for the warranty, but we do go through a 30-point inspection upon pickup. So if you're selling a sauna, right, and the heat doesn't turn on, but we couldn't tell that in the video, right? So there is a situation where you could post a listing of something, but it doesn't actually match the reality of the quality of the product. And so that's why we do a very thorough in-person inspection. And so our policy is, if the item in person does not match the item that you listed for sale, we make sure that the customer is aware of that, and we 100% are able to cancel that order and the team will go home. Obviously the movers get paid, and that's through Commonplace. So, the customer is not on the hook for sending a moving team out for something that is not good, which is something that, is part of the hassle-free element that you don't get on Facebook. Like if you go to see a car on Facebook Marketplace and it's not as described, the guy doesn't have the title and there's rust all over the car and it doesn't start, right? But like in the pictures, it doesn't match.
Yeah. Take a look.
And so you just wasted a bunch of time. Maybe you drove 2 hours to do that. And so that's what we're trying to prevent. 95% of the time, or maybe even more, the item matches perfectly with the description. And so you don't have that. You just, you do the inspection. We send videos to the customer so they see exactly what they're getting. It's like a proxy for being there.
Right.
And then usually the heat in the sauna works fine. We test it out and the drivers get a little bit of a sweat. But then we disassemble it, we move it, and then the customer gets it reassembled, and the warranty goes through Commonplace. So if 8 months from now the heat stops working in the sauna, well, we buy parts, we send somebody to replace it. And if that can't be fixed for whatever reason, if the part can't be sourced, we basically replace that sauna with a similar model secondhand item.
Okay.
So that's how that works. But the seller is not on the hook unless they listed something that doesn't match the actual item. So if the sauna didn't work and they listed it as a working sauna, we show up, we say, look, sorry, you listed it, it's not as described. We can't pick it up, and the delivery team goes home.
Now they want to know how you get paid. Do you get a site commission on the total sale?
So there are a few.
How does Commonplace get paid? Yeah.
So the seller gets paid upon pickup, and the driver gets paid once the item is delivered successfully. So we pay via Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and bank transfer. So it's immediate payment upon pickup. You don't have to wait, a week to get a payment from Carvana after your car has already been picked up. So you get paid, like nothing leaves your property until you are paid for that item. And then delivery team, there's more of a trust element. And so they've worked with us in the past, typically, multiple times a week. And so once the item is delivered successfully, the delivery team gets paid. Same method, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, or bank transfer. And so as a marketplace, we get paid on the transaction. So typically we have a 15 to 20% transaction fee, depending on what it is. So if it's a more expensive item, typically the transaction fee is a little bit lower. And then we charge the delivery and the pickup fees to cover the cost of labor to pay the delivery team that's doing that job.
All right. So let's see here. So I'll go ahead and say this. So Dennis has created a YouTube series. I think it's really cool. Where he's a Navy veteran, and because I'm a veteran of the Marine Corps, he reached out to me and to just let me know about it. But basically, his series helps veterans transform their garage into a garage gym, and it is they don't have to pay anything. Okay, and he wants to know if you'd be open to collaborating. Should he go on your website and use that business inquiries link?
For sure.
Or is it a different way? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can send me an email, just ari@trycommonplace.com.
Okay.
That's the best way to get in touch.
All right. Good.
That sounds awesome. Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a great charity. And then what's up, man? My brother wants to know if there's a limit as far as distance.
So we're constantly increasing these limits. When we started, it was 200 miles, but we've increased it to 1,000 miles. So
I think it's about 200 when you came on the show in May.
Yeah,
and I was like, you're in New York, so you can't help me. But okay, but now it's 1,000.
We worked really hard, and so we increased it to 1,000, and it's nationwide. So that's for folks in Texas, like they can get something from California, right? Yeah, and people in Denver can order something from South Dakota, for example, right? And so it helps people, again, all going back to democratizing the secondhand market. Like if there's an item that you really want, but it's nowhere close to you, well, now there's hope that you can actually purchase that at a reasonable secondhand market price. And same thing for the sellers, right? If you're selling something, you want that item to be visible to as wide of an audience as possible, right? Not just the people, and typically Facebook Marketplace is like a 50-mile radius, right? For most, especially gym equipment, like most people aren't going to drive more than 50 miles to pick something up. Well, now it's 1,000 miles, right? So it's 20 times the number of people, and that's a massive traffic advantage as well.
So I have an answer for this, but I want to hear what your take is on it. Home Gym Physique wants to know why someone would use Commonplace rather than just selling it to a gym equipment company that buys secondhand gym equipment.
You could, selling it to a gym equipment company is great. I think the model is a little bit more geared towards peer-to-peer, simply because I think if you're selling it to a company, you are likely to get less for your item just because that company now has to pick it up on their dime, warehouse it on their dime, advertise it on their dime, and then deliver it on their dime, right? So there's like if you think about the business of that, of the business of running a business, right? There are a lot more expenses involved of them being able to service and give you cash upon picking it up, taking on the risk, and then delivering it. So it's a little bit of a different business model. If you're liquidating and you need something out tomorrow, then that might be more reliable, right? And you're also dealing with a moving team there, right? So they're going to be experienced on disassembling your home gym. So you're going to get a similar level of service, but you'll probably get more if you're selling it to another person who's interested in this item.
Right.
And so that's what we're trying
because
to
they want it, whereas this person, a company's like,
okay,
well, yeah, we want it, but we have to make money off of it.
Exactly. Right. So it's like, they'll probably give you 10% or 15% of the item's value versus here you might get 40 or 50% of the item's value.
And I'll also say too, because I've had experience with resellers, people who like, it was especially on Craigslist, people will go on Craigslist and they will buy up like an entire gym that's going out of business and then they will resell it. And I've had experience with selling stuff as well. And the people who I've had, or like who did this for a living, who I've encountered, typically wouldn't want to buy just one thing because it's not worth their time, their fuel, whatever, to come buy just one thing, right? So they're in this situation, I can just sell this one thing. And I'll also say, I think it's a game changer that you guys advertise it. So it's going to have a much broader range than, like you said, something on Facebook Marketplace, which is kind of determined a little bit by your location, a little bit by your friend, your network of friends and whatnot. So I think it's a good thing. There was,
I think there's another element of like giving it to somebody that would use it, like if you've loved an item, for a long time and now you're upgrading or you're moving, it's like, at least you're giving it to somebody that's going to use it. Not that there's anything wrong with reselling gym equipment, but somebody that's interested in it and is going to use it, that's kind of a nice to have. Yeah.
Cause I mean, like you just feel good about it. Like, okay, they're going to value it more. So Jared said sauna. Now you've got his attention because you mentioned saunas and Carp said, yeah, sauna. And
so sauna is like our like fastest rising category.
Really? Okay.
Just because of like it's actually pretty cumbersome to move. And it's like really becoming more of a very like popular item, and it's pretty underrated like how good sauna is for you. Like I track my sleep, and so whenever I sauna that day, my sleep is like so much better. So I think it's like a real thing. And on the marketplace side of it, you can get a really great deal for a sauna, and it's hard to move. So it definitely makes sense as to why it's becoming more popular. And I think we filmed a video of somebody in Texas that bought a sauna on Commonplace, and you could check it out. But I think it was a Finleo sauna. It was like an $8,000 sauna. It would have cost him like $1,500 or $2,000 to get it delivered from Finleo in like 10 weeks. And he found one on our marketplace for like $2,000, and it was like $250 to deliver. So he got the deal of a lifetime, and it's a great product. So if somebody is looking for saunas, then definitely a great option.
Gibran, I hope I said your name correctly. Says this would be great for machines. I agree, but so when I went on here, I pulled up the site, and on purpose I was looking for stuff just to see. In fact, I'll go ahead and share my screen again because this will kind of help make the question a little bit clearer, right? So I'm looking at some of the stuff that's on here. So let's go with the Smart Fit Newell Bell. Okay, that's not a really big item. It costs a little bit, but So it comes up 0 products found in 1,000 miles of Nashville, Tennessee. So the thing that tells me though is me looking at it from the seller standpoint is if something's a rare item, are you more likely to? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I said, oh shoot. So that's another way to look at it. It says to kind of like when you're trying, because you do have to figure out what you want to sell it for, right? Yeah. So I didn't even think about this when I was putting the rower on there. But if I went the other route and say, okay, well, how many of this brand or this product do you have already? And if the answer is you don't have that many, then maybe that means it's going to sell faster, or maybe I can charge a little bit closer to what I paid for it or whatever. So have you found that that's a am I on track as far as that goes?
Yes, but I would also say, we're trying to add categories to basically, like in order to have items in that category, you first have to add that category. And then right when you add the category, which, we did very recently for a lot of other gym equipment categories that we didn't have previously, it takes some time for them to populate with listings. And so,
but I mean, if there's you add Newell, if I got a Newell I want to get rid of, and there's none, I need to hurry up and get it on there because I want to be first.
For sure. I mean, they're like Pokemon cards, right? Like there are some Pokemon cards that are like more rare than others, and so if it's more rare, then it's going to have a higher price. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. My brother said, "Sounds like you got a great thing going here," and he's headed off to work. So, hey man, I'll talk to you later on. Happy New Year again.
Thanks for all the great questions.
Oh man, so this is actually one of the reasons why I love doing the show this way. We have a fair amount of people who are actually going through their workday right now. They're delivery drivers, or they have us at their desk and they are listening to the show. And then so sometimes the chat will subside because they're actually working, being responsible adults. But then when we have somebody like you on, it's like you get people like, oh wow, I gotta ask them a question, So I love how the engagement is, and it's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this as a live show rather than as a recorded podcast, because I want people to be able to get instant answers to the things they're asking.
That's a game changer.
Oh man, hey, look, as somebody, let me stop right there. So doing something that's a little different than the way everybody else is doing it, you understand this better than most people. Is like, there's the fear, like, is this a dumb idea? Is anybody else gonna, what I mean? I get that. It's like, is this a dumb idea? Especially when we started to do the show. When I came up with the concept for the show, a lot of people told me this was like nobody was going to want to watch this because they're like, I can't get, this is a 3-hour show. They're like, how are you going to get people to talk about gym equipment for 3 hours? Right. And I didn't see that as an obstacle. I said, well, how would I? And I said, let's figure out how we can make it work. So the fact that you said it's a game changer is kind of like, that's today's fuel for the fire, man. That by itself 100%. Was worth having you on, man. I really appreciate you, man.
100%. I mean, it changes the conversation. Like if you're watching or listening to a podcast, right, and you have something on your mind, but it's a recorded podcast, it's likely that many other people have that same question on their mind. But the people like in the conversation, like they can't read everybody's minds. They're just saying whatever they're talking about. But if you can have a question in the audience, it's likely that other people in the audience have that same question. And if you could introduce that into the conversation, you're answering that question for everybody else. And so it makes it tailors the podcast to so many more people in the audience. Right. It's a fantastic idea.
I mean, and so you think about I sent you a list of questions, but out of that list of 10 questions, only like 2 of them were actually things that I anticipated the audience wanting to know. You know what I mean? So I think this is great. So JB also was it's like they're my co-hosts. JB wants to know, and I think this is a great question. He wants to know, he said, would you guys mind if we tagged your Instagram when selling stuff on Commonplace? Just thinking of ways to get more eyes on the item when listing, because the delivery aspect opens up a new world for many. So do people tag you like when they buy or sell something on Commonplace?
Yeah, so we had a few folks that were redoing their gym. For tonals, it was like a really big moment when they can find out that they can get it installed on their wall and test it out before the delivery team leaves. and they're getting it for a fraction of the price. So they were tagging us. But we do advertise the items individually. So whether you tag us or not, if you list an item, it's automatically going to be advertised on 6, maybe 8 other platforms as an item on its own, where people are looking, right? So, people are looking on Google Shopping, people are looking on, Craigslist in different areas, but the delivery aspect is really the game changer here. So we advertise in all of the areas where people can now receive, or buy that item.
So JB says your site is nuts. They've got outdoor kids play sets and everything. And I'm like, here's the thing. So when we first had you on in May, we didn't get this volume of, obviously my channel's grown since then, but we didn't get this volume of interest, right? Because at the time, and a part of it was the 200-mile thing. Like you mentioned Texas. 200 miles barely covers Texas, right? Itself, much less another. If you think about it, much less another state. So it's like, okay. But I think another thing is, like, you've been doing it and there's proof of concept now. So that's why I love having you on before, and then you come back and it's like, well, this is what's happened since we've been working. And so I think that's one reason why people are like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. What's that sales rule? Is like it takes people so many times to hear something before they're interested enough to pull the trigger. So I think this is great.
One thing that I'll tell you that's going to totally blow your mind right now.
I'm here for it. Yeah.
So you know how when you purchase something on Amazon, you pay for it and then it's delivered a couple of days later.
Yeah.
So we enabled a feature on the marketplace where you only pay $1 to reserve the item, and it gets picked up, and you only get charged once it's delivered, once you test it out, and once you confirm that it is exactly what you purchased.
Oh, wow.
So you get charged, you only pay upon delivery, right? And like,
that's huge for a used item.
Yeah.
That somebody's bringing to my house. Yeah.
Exactly. If you think about it, like, there are, let's say, a hot tub dealer, right? Yeah. They'll they'll advertise on Facebook Marketplace, and some of them will be like pay upon delivery. And so now you're getting the full, like, white glove secondhand experience, but with the real, like, marketplace feel of like, look, man, it's used. Unless it's here, unless I can test it out, I'm not paying for it. So we made that possible, right? Like, we have the confidence in our checklist and our delivery team that we go through the checklist upon pickup. We make sure it's exactly what the customer would be expecting. And, we have confidence in the delivery team to be able to set it up and deliver it to you without a hitch. So if we don't deliver on our promise, which is our brand, I guess, coming back to the beginning, it's like, if we don't deliver on our promise, you don't have to pay for it. And it's just $1 for the item to get picked up, because we trust our customer to be able to come through.
All right. So I have a couple of other questions. I want to get address 2 comments here. My guy, Rob, haven't talked to him in a minute. Rob, man, I hope everything's well with you and your family. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everything's going well for you and your business, man. Rob actually wrote for us when we had a magazine. So yeah, it's great hearing from him. And Rex said, I got here late, but Commonplace seems great. I'll go back and watch the whole show. Dude, Rex, thank you. Shout out to the replay gang. He says, I'll go back and watch the whole show like normal, but I get a bit upset when I'm late, man. I'm just glad that you took time out of your day. You could be anywhere in the world, and instead you're like, you know what, I'm going to be right here and tune in with this. So I truly do appreciate it, you being here. So 2 things I said I was going to say. First is, you said you like, this is for what you guys do, where you deliver the product and I get to try it out at my house before I have to pay for it. You're like, this is a game changer for the used marketplace. It's a game changer for brand new equipment, because when we buy stuff online, especially gym equipment, and as a content creator, I experience this a lot. It shows up at the house. You don't know if there's something wrong with it a lot of times till after you've put it together. A lot of times that voids the warranty. So what you guys are doing is something that we don't even get with a lot of new products that we buy online. This is a serious game changer.
Absolutely.
Number two, have you considered going to, I don't know if you're familiar with Home Gym Con, but if you're not, I'm about to tell you. So Home Gym Con is the only convention. It's like Comic-Con, but for home gyms. So there's equipment and all that. And all of us, most of the people watching the show now, at some point, either have been or intend to go to Home Gym Con, right? We do a live in-person show there. And it occurs to me that would be a good place for you to go because you're going to meet a lot of content creators. You're going to meet whatever. What do you have so if somebody like takes their stuff to Home Gym Con, would you guys pick up from there?
So it is a marketplace model, right? So going back to the inventory thing, you know, right now we don't purchase items and put them in a warehouse and wait for somebody to buy them.
That's right. Yeah.
Once they sell,
right.
But you can definitely, well, I mean, Home Gym Con sounds awesome. Like it's exactly you know who we're helping out. So yeah, would love to participate.
All right. So that means y'all heard him say he'd love to participate. So that means you're willing to go to Home Gym Con, even if you just as an attendee.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Where is it usually hosted?
It is in Louisville, Kentucky. It will be in August, at the end of August this year. And I know that you were trying to get in touch with. Actually, I think you have gotten in touch with Jake from Garage Gym Radio. He is the organizer of Home Gym Con. And so I just think it's something that be a great place to, first of all, I get to meet you in person. But yeah, man, I just want to kind of do a plug for Home Gym Con for you to come out there because if you come to Home Gym Con, I will give you the floor. You will get to at my live show where we have people in person or whatever. You can come. You can be one of the brands. I'm telling you now. You'll be one of the brands. You come there and just explain your business model to my audience, which will consist of content creators and just people in general. So yeah, man. Oh, and
I appreciate that. That's awesome.
And as a bonus, Kinsey's mom, you don't understand the magnitude of this, but the cinnamon rolls. All right. Kinsey's mom makes cinnamon rolls for the in-person show. Okay. And so I'm telling you, you need to be there for the cinnamon rolls. Hey, Jake is watching. Okay. Yeah. What's up, man? So yeah. So there you go. So, it's I'm sorry. I said it's the end of August. No. It's the last weekend in July, beginning of August.
Okay.
So yeah, sorry about it. I'm glad you guys corrected me. He'd have been there at the wrong time. I'll send you the link if you wanna come to it. But I think it's a great opportunity because another thing is a lot of this is just people in the home gym community knowing you. Because right now I think that you've got a lot of traction in the Peloton community, in the the tonal community, but the home gym community is more kind of like an umbrella. And I think that this would be a fantastic opportunity for more people to find out about who you guys are and what you do and how, and so they'll think that you guys are as awesome as I think you are.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. Okay. Hey, y'all heard
really
he promised. He just told everybody. He promised in front of America and Britain. He said he was coming to Home Gym Con. You can't go back on it now. All right, book it. There you go. Yeah, man.
That would be awesome.
What were you gonna say? Yeah, man. I think
that would be awesome. Yeah, it'd be great, and we could speak to some of the folks in the community, and like I'm learning a ton from you. Like I wouldn't have heard of this conference if not for you, and so like I'd love to learn more about like how people use their home gyms, like how we can serve the customers, and sounds like a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time. I mean, there are like dinners and things like that afterwards too, where you kind of just hang out with people, but you'll get a lot out of just walking through, just walking through and meeting people, whatever. And I think it's a fantastic networking opportunity. I think to just kind of, my thing is basically just giving you guys more visibility because when David reached out to me in the email, he was like, that's what he's trying to do, get more visibility for you guys in the home gym community specifically. Because, like I said, you've got traction in the Peloton community, the tonal community, and things like that. And I said, I need to make sure I mention this to him so we can do that.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Well, dude, everybody's excited now. Icebox Gym wants to see you there. We got a bunch of people who are excited about seeing you there. Before I let you go, where can people go if they want to keep up with the latest from Commonplace? and I'll go ahead and I'll give you the.
So you can find us as Try Commonplace on Instagram, and if you ever buy something or sell anything, definitely tag us or shoot a clip of showing like how awesome our delivery teams are. So post it to Try Commonplace. We also are on YouTube as Try Commonplace. You'll see a bunch of the different stuff that we deliver, and you'll get some great tips on home gyms, on hot tubs, on saunas, things like that. And if you have any marathoners, we're doing a half marathon, I believe in March. So you can join the team. But yeah, basically Instagram, TikTok as Try Commonplace, YouTube, and obviously the website, trycommonplace.com.
There you go. Man, like I said, this is it feels like it's an hour, but it flew by, man. So I appreciate you coming on here and spending so much time here. Yeah, man. You got an open invite to come on the show anytime you want. I think what you guys are doing is amazing. So thank you so much, Ari. And best of luck with your business, man. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you do.
You as well. Keep doing what you're doing. I love it. And Happy New Year. Thanks so much for having me.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that was Ari Kimmelfeld. Shout out to you guys, because like I was saying, like the first time he came on in May, I feel like it's one of those things where he had already been in some big publications, but I feel like a lot of people didn't really know him. And so I was interested, and it's my pleasure. I love doing this. This is why the show exists, to introduce you guys to brands who you may not already know about, that I think you could benefit from being connected to, right? At the very least, I want you guys to know about them. And so I love the fact that you guys were so interested in it, and I want to continue to do more of this in 2026. That's what we're going to do. And really, one of the things that makes it easier to do that is the fact that you guys are spreading the word about our show. We are growing. I looked, and at one point during the show today, we had over 5,000 people watching, and that is phenomenal. So thank you. Shout out to all you guys who tuned in. So let's just talk about, before we close, the things I learned this week. So Naomi was talking about things that she learned as a content creator, and I'll say that this may not be something that a lot of people are willing to share, but you guys know I don't do things the way other people do. So I was reminded again of the power of advertising to grow your YouTube channel. So I'm going to tell you, sometimes it's very easy if you're competitive like me. You see channels, especially if they're a channel that's smaller than yours, and you're like, this guy's got 5,000, let's say 5,000 subscribers, and they've got a video that's got 10,000 views. What just happened, right? And sometimes you don't realize that person, there's a promote function on YouTube, okay? And anybody can use it, and it will spread the word. It'll promote your video, get it more visibility. It's similar to the thing that they have on Instagram. But the thing is that a lot of people don't tell you that they do that, right? So if you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to grow and you're struggling, I want you, and you're seeing like other people and they're growing faster than you maybe. Look, the fact is that they may be paying for advertising. And as a result, they're going to, more people are going to see their stuff and they're going to grow. So don't be discouraged. And also don't let it intimidate you, because you could literally take $100 and do and promote a video. And if you set your goal as like to get more views on your channel, it's going to work for you. Now, obviously, if you pay more money, even more people are going to see it. But I'm just saying that even with a little bit of money, you can still get some good returns. So I already knew that, but I was reminded of it earlier this week because I was able to see like some of the metrics for Naomi's channel as she was growing, because we use Google advertising as well as word of mouth to spread the word about her channel, right? But then another thing I learned is I'm going to just go ahead and accept the responsibility for this one. So we did our Synergy Custom Fitness. We did the build, and then I did the review video. And I need to be clearer when I do certain product reviews, because and this is no sarcasm, because I don't think I specifically stated that, just because I was talking about the fact that I got the Delta rack doesn't mean that you need to get the Delta rack if that's not where you are in the life cycle of your home gym. So that Delta rack from Synergy Custom Fitness was an upgrade to what we already had, which was itself an upgrade to what we had before that, which was also an upgrade. So this Delta rack is our 4th, maybe 5th dumbbell rack, and each one has been a little bit sturdier, a little bit bigger. Unlike those previous situations, though, anytime I had a dumbbell rack before, I would have to sell it or give it away, and then, to bring the new rack in, right? And in the case of Synergy Custom Fitness, when I tell people, hey, if you haven't watched that video yet, you watch the video, and I say, click the link, and I say, if you decide to buy this or any product or whatever, I'm literally mean any product. You are there's nothing wrong with going to synergycustomfitness.com, shout out to them, and picking out a rack that you can afford, and then adding to that rack slowly over time. I don't know where actually I do know. The notion that you've got to buy the biggest, most expensive version of something is stupid, right? I have a video on my YouTube channel. It's called Buy What You Need, Not What's on Sale. And I don't mean like what's at a sale price. I mean like buy what you need, not what's for sale in the marketplace. Because the business is there to promote their most expensive thing to you. But if that doesn't fit with your budget and your home gym and your lifestyle and your situation, don't feel any pressure, no matter who tells you that that's a great product. All right. And so I'm going to say, like I said, a lot of people won't say this when they do their reviews, because they're kind of like, obviously I get, because we have an affiliate link with them, I'll get more money if you buy the most expensive thing. But I rather you buy something small that fits you, and then slowly over time you add to it, and you're happy, then I get, a commission payment. All right. Because I still hold true to the original reason why I started my channel. And that is, I want to help people who have chosen to train at home achieve their fitness goals in a home gym environment without feeling like they need to give up and go get a gym membership that may not fit their current lifestyle situation, their current life situations. Like Ari was saying, I want to make fitness accessible to everyone. And for a lot of people, that means having a home gym. So it means more to me, and it's worth more to me for you guys to buy what works for you. And I get a tremendous reward every time somebody says that they bought something because of one of my videos and that they're happy with it. And I get more satisfaction out of that than you just buying something and me getting an anonymous commission check. Okay. So I just want to make sure I get that straight. So that's it. All right. Let's see here. JB said, good reminder. I've never tried the pay promoting option. I might try this sometime. Dude, I'm telling you, you could literally I'm pretty sure you could do $50. And then so the default, this is not a how to grow your YouTube channel, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So the default setting is 15 days. So if you say, okay, $50 over 15 days, it's going to spread that out so that you don't go over that budget. If you say $200, it's still 15 days. You can change the time frame. You might say, all right, well, $50 over 10 days or whatever, or $100 over 10 days, whatever you want. Just if you're not doing any advertising and you do some, it's going to have an effect. And I also say that if you want, you kind of have to figure out if YouTube is something you're doing as a hobby, then yeah, don't worry about it. But if it's something that you are doing because you say, you know what, when I retire, at some point from what I do for a living now, I want to be able to do YouTube and have it be a source of income or it's a side hustle for me, whatever. You got to build your infrastructure now, which means you need to treat it like a business investment, like you're starting a small business, which means you have got to look at it like a business owner would and look at it as an investment. Yeah, maybe that means you got to take away from some of the spending you do for pleasure, and I'm not saying you specifically, maybe, but I'm just saying in general, you're like, all right, where do I need to cut corners in my life, in other parts of my life, so I can afford to pay for advertising for my videos, so my channel gets to the point where it can pay me. You know, that just is a no-brainer to me, and I just feel like not enough people, not enough content creators are willing to tell you guys that. Instead, they're content, like they kind of want. I don't know if they want to keep it a secret because they want people to look at them like they're on some pedestal or whatever. But yeah, man, I'm not that way. So I want to see you guys succeed. Anyway, that's it for today's show. Thank you to my wife, Naomi, for joining me once again in the first hour of the show. And thanks also to my guest, Ari Kimmelfeld, for joining us to get us up to speed on Commonplace. Next week, we're going to have Nick Benarakis from Big Benches. He's going to be joining the show to help us all improve on America's favorite lift. That's right. We're going to get your bench right next week. So until next week, make sure you share our channel link to help us grow. And most of all, make sure you keep stacking days. All right.